Live.
You gonna hold that the whole time?
I might. Are you closer?
Just clip it right here.
You're gonna talk right into my shoulder.
Right into your bicep.
So we went live.
We're live. Officially.
All right, Drew. It is a beautiful Thursday evening. We are here from our beautiful studio, as usual. Our first in-person podcast. How excited are we on a scale of 1 to 10 for this draft right now?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm a 10 about the draft. I'm about a 5 of having to be with you in person.
That's fair.
But here we are. So I'm just going to shoot this link out to my 5 friends.
Yep, I got to send link out too.
This is excellent content. Good thing we're
we're in it.
Good thing we're here.
There we go. Beautiful. Hopefully the audio is coming in pretty good. So a couple of things can happen here. Obviously, we already know what's going to happen. Number 1 overall, while the draft has officially started and the Bears are now on the clock, we already know that Caleb Williams is going number 1, and it looks like that Jayden Daniels is probably going 2. Unfortunately.
Let's go!
And when I mean unfortunately, I don't mean unfortunately for the Commanders, because I don't believe in Jayden that much. I hope Jayden's a good player, and I hope that he is successful. But honestly, I don't think it's going to work out for Washington.
He's saying, unfortunately, because I've been on the Jayden Daniels at number 2 thing for like the last 60 days.
Yep.
And he just doesn't want me to be right. He wants me to be wrong about all my takes for some reason.
It makes it more fun that way. All right. Let me get our... Bam, perfect. All right, we got the YouTube live stream up.
Is that where the people are going to comment?
Yeah. Here. And I'm going to get the Twitch up too. For the people. Get our...
Okay, we don't want that.
All right. All right, there we go. All right, we're not gonna see anything weird here at 1, right? I mean, it's gonna be Caleb. It has to be chalk. It shouldn't be anything weird.
No, I don't think so. The Bears did trade away Justin Fields last time I checked, right? I know all you Bears fans out there said it wasn't going to happen, that I didn't know what the Bears were thinking, but he's a Steeler now, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And Caleb Williams here. The draft officially started 5 minutes ago. I don't know if they're on the clock or not yet. But yeah, hopefully we get some excitement as early as pick number 3, right? That's what we're hoping for.
We have Jayden Daniels to the Raiders. Hopefully the Raiders don't drop the ball again. Well, unfortunately, the Raiders always drop the ball. So when you say again, we're talking about like the past decade, 2 decades. For some reason, my TikTok feed is filled with Raider stuff. I don't know why and how I got on that. Raider stuff and Warrior stuff. I don't want to be there, but my TikTok is making me be there. And for some reason, they're all about the whole fact of they totally think they're trading up to go get Jayden Daniels. I don't know if they've heard the news, but he's probably going second.
There's actually content for the Raiders on TikTok.
Unbelievably.
I figured it would just be giant L's floating around.
They're delusional. So you know how that runs.
Just in case, Raiders fans, in case this is the first time you're noticing, you got the Kansas City Chiefs, defending Super Bowl champions. You got Jim Harbaugh, Chargers coach, and you got Sean Payton, who's one of the greatest offensive minds we've ever seen in the NFL. And then you have Antonio Pierce.
Yep.
And some guy named Aiden O'Connell at quarterback. So,
yeah, it's between O'Connell. I mean, don't forget Gardner Minshew. Yeah. They pay him $25 million to go out there and play. So, I mean, at the end of the day, so we have what? We have 7 quarterbacks right now, right? We have 7 quarterback needy teams. But in reality, there's probably only like 6 actual starters coming out of this draft.
You're going to go with 6, huh?
Probably 6.
Okay.
You know, we're talking about Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, should be the second overall pick. And we're also talking about Michael Penix, Bo Nix. Oh, no, it's 5. Excuse me. No, it's 5.
You forgot JJ. It's 6.
Oh, yeah, duh. Sorry, my bad. JJ McCarthy. So it's 6, but there's 7. So someone's coming out a loser here, unless some team is just believing the Spencer Rattler. Broncos haven't beat us in 4 years. If that's what we're hanging our hat on. If that's what makes you go to sleep at night real calm and while Eminem comes and runs out hype for Detroit.
This is what we need. We need a 50-year-old Marshall Mathers to kick off the NFL draft. I like his shoes though. Peep the J's. Those are nice. You know, that energy right there, Broncos haven't beat us in 4 years. You know what that is? We call that Big Kings energy. We didn't make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. It don't matter because we sent the Warriors home. Yeah. So it don't matter. The Raiders beat the Chiefs one time last year. That was their Super Bowl. Yep. That's all that matters for Raiders fans.
So let me ask you, Drew, as a Niners fan, give me your dream pick for someone to fall. Give me your probable pick and give me your sleeper pick.
Okay. I was hoping he was going to rap. I guess my dream pick would probably be one of the top flight tackles falling. Yeah. The guy that we could stick in at right tackle and move to left tackle when Trent Williams retires. One of the F brothers, as I like to call them, or a J.C. Latham, who all of a sudden has jumped into the top 10. I think the most likely thing to happen is we stick with Jordan Morgan, maybe a Tyler Guyton if he falls. Maybe if a corner falls, a Kool-Aid McKinstry, something like that. But sleeper pick, 49ers world has been on fire all day today about maybe a Brandon Ayuk trade, maybe a Deebo Samuel trade. I'm not going to say that I'm for this or not for this because I don't know what the compensation is going to be. I don't know what we're going to get for them. But sleeper pick to see the 49ers jump somewhere into the top 15. Now, a couple years back, we elected not to pay DeForest Buckner, right? Which was probably the right decision at the time with team building needs, and we traded him away for the 13th pick. 49ers got cute. They dropped one more pick back, traded with the Bucks. They took a guy named Javon Kinlaw, no longer on the 49ers. The Bucks took a guy, you may know him, his name is Tristan Wirfs. Mm-hmm. So if the 49ers had just stuck where they were at the time and taken Tristan Wirfs, we may not be having this conversation about no Super Bowl trophies for the 49ers right now. So I'm not a super huge fan of trading away the player to go replace the player. We're going to trade away Brandon Ayuk or Deebo Samuel to draft another wide receiver. But if we get into the top 10 for my number 2 guy, Rome Odunze, I can't be upset about that because I think he's going to be fantastic at the next level.
Yeah, absolutely.
I ask you the same question for the Cowboys.
Dream pick would probably be Troy Fautanu if he falls, or because if he's not going 8, I'm not sure where the fit is. But Byron Murphy, there's talks of him either going 8th overall or him slipping into the 20s. So that's probably the dream picks there. Because, Mozzie Smith clearly isn't working out. The probable pick is probably JPJ or Graham Barton. And then the sleepers are probably Jordan Morgan. Jordan Morgan's probably the sleeper pick. And I'm not sure what the other pick would be. There's talks of Kingsley Suamatia potentially sneaking into the first round. There's talks of just saw something about don't be surprised if the Cowboys trade back, and then if they're nervous about someone else taking Jonathan Brooks, taking a running back in the first round, I mean, I'd lose my mind. So yeah, ideally Fautanu would be fantastic.
I heard you guys are going to sign Zeke.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. I still want Trey Benson.
I mean, Zeke. All right, it's official. The Bears are on the clock here. I think it would be really funny if they just handed the pick in right now, but I think you have to do your due diligence and wait. The phones are probably ringing at this point.
Yep.
I'd imagine the Washington Commanders can make a compelling case to move up a pick. I imagine the Patriots can make a very compelling case. I'm not exactly sure what the Patriots could offer at this point. Let me ask you this. If the Commanders get on the phone and say, you can have all of our picks, and we just want to move up one, do you do it?
No.
For every Commander pick.
I don't think you can.
Every Commander pick. Nope. You believe that much in Caleb Williams over my guy, Jaden Daniels?
Yes.
Okay.
I do. And so looking back, and we've been looking at the draft for a couple of years now, right? Looking back from we've actually fully scouted some of these guys, right? Looking back at last year, I really liked Bryce Young. Bryce Young, I remember talking to you. Bryce Young was my guy.
Poquito.
Tiny. And if we're talking about last year, yeah, absolutely. I don't like Bryce Young as much as I like Caleb. It's just Caleb Williams is going to break every Bears franchise passing record in the first year. He's going to break every single rookie quarterback record in the first year. But he's actually going to make the Bears good in the first time in a very long time. And obviously it's not only just him, but it's his supporting cast, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. The offensive line is not as bad as we think it is. Then you go out and you get, what's his face from the Eagles? Swift. DeAndre Swift. Yeah, you signed DeAndre Swift, the very first free agent signing.
Big time signing for them, DeAndre Swift.
So you're surrounding Caleb Williams with as much as he possibly can, arguably way more than he ever had at USC, and you're setting him up to succeed. And he's a talented player. And you see the confidence in him. You see everything that you want in a quarterback. Some people say he doesn't have the mentality. He doesn't have what it takes. He doesn't have the attitude. I think he does, man. When you're talking about him and getting upset and going over to his mom, I mean, you're talking about like a 19-year-old kid. Like, come on, man. Like, let's not freak out about the dude's attitude.
Do you still go over to your mom's and cry?
Hell no, you don't. I don't go to my mom's.
All right, Bears fans. I got a spoiler alert for you guys. The Chicago Bears have existed for 105 seasons. 105 seasons of professional football. Although one could argue that what the Chicago Bears do isn't really professional football, but one could argue 105 years in professional football. They've never had a quarterback throw for more than 4,000 yards.
Yep.
They've never had a quarterback throw for more than 35 touchdowns. In 105 years of semi-professional, whatever you call it out on the football field, is supposed to be football.
Yep.
I think that Caleb is going to break both of those records.
Yes.
Maybe not this season, both, but we're going to see Caleb with the surrounding cast. Honestly, Raiders fans in the chat, now might be a good time to hop teams, man. The Bears look like they're lining up. And the thing that I like about the Bears and what they've done is they've kind of set up their legacy to where they're going to be popping. They're going to be ready to go right about the time that the Chiefs are kind of getting old. Travis Kelce's getting old. Patrick Mahomes is up there.
Yep.
Chris Jones is getting old. The Bears are going to be ready to step into that void as what the next truly talented, super team in the NFL could be. And they've added all the pieces around to allow their rookie quarterback to be successful right away, assuming it's Caleb. I mean,
yeah.
It's Caleb.
Yeah. Ayuk to the Patriots. I wonder if that's just saying, that's the forecasted prediction is what this guy is saying potentially.
Ayuk to the Patriots.
Yeah, listen.
Maybe for a second.
Yeah, I was going to say it'd be high second. It wouldn't be like that third overall pick. It'd be that 35th overall pick. But
That would be a no for me, sir.
yeah,
How about Ayuk to the Raiders for number 13?
I think it's possible. I don't think you get a single digit.
I don't think he's fast enough for the Raiders to trade for him, to be honest with you.
Fair.
That's the main problem.
Yeah, the Raiders are going to go with Xavier Worthy at 13.
They might.
They might.
Hashtag Darius Hayward Bay.
Yep.
I got to tell you, you don't realize how long 10 minutes is until you're
Just talking.
just talking for 10 minutes about something that you already know. You know,
It's gonna happen.
when we're sitting here breaking down 13, it's going to be, you know, like, oh, they can do this, they can do this, they can do this, they can do. Well, we already know what they're doing here,
Yep.
so it's hard to.
It's been the foregone conclusion before Justin Fields, right? This is franchise changing for these guys. And look, the NFC North in general, we're going to trade up for Jaden, and the Raiders we trust. No, you're not. I'm sorry. There's no way. To trade up for Jaden, you would have to go up for 2. And what incentive does Washington have to move back to 13? I don't see it.
The pick is in. Okay, let me ask you this. Number 13, Colton Miller. Do you do it? Number 13 and Max Crosby, if you're Washington.
I don't think so. Washington traded away their young quarterback that they already had in the building.
That's true.
And Sam Howell.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
So
They're taking quarterback here. They have to. That's a great. That's an excellent point. I forgot about Sam Howell.
So if they still had him on the roster, which is a big part why it's probably Jaden, but it's a big part on why I say, who knows? It still might be Drake May. Like, do you want 2 guys where Drake May already took Sam Howell's spot in college at UNC, took over his job, right? And now we're talking about potentially it would have happened again if Drake May's going to Washington and Sam Howell stays. Is there really a situation? And they're friends. They're friends. But how much of friends are you really going to be if the guy keeps taking your starting job over and over and over again? Right? It's a big part on why I'm all up for the Drake May to Washington thing is they traded him away to not deal with all the drama, or you're just getting value back for the position,
Man, they're not even leaving it up into any suspense.
Nope.
He just said, we're about to hear Caleb Williams' name. Roger Goodell is heading out. Don't these guys know we're watching this live and we don't want spoilers?
Right?
With the first pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Caleb Williams.
And it's official.
Southern California. There it is.
Now, the only thing that's suspenseful about this entire thing is Roger Goodell, the greatest commissioner in pro sports history. Shout out your dad.
Yep.
He just had back surgery
Mm-hmm.
4 days ago
Okay.
or something like that. So are we going to see a hug here? That's what I'm truly, every NFL, every college player dreams of a Roger Goodell hug because that means
Yep.
they're a first round pick.
Yep.
So let's see what happens here. Lots of suspense, guys. Look at the Chrome Hearts.
So did you realize there's only 13 accepted invites this year from the first
Oh, we got a hug! Let's go, Roger. What'd you say?
13 invites were accepted this year for first rounders. That's it.
Really?
There's only 13 guys in the green room, and one of the guys might not even be selected in the first round. The one guy who's very suspect about being there and maybe shouldn't be there, but still might sneak in, is Darius Robinson.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't have shown up if I was him.
So, and it could just be part of the process, right? He always dreamed of going to the green room and sitting there, and he wants to bring his family there, and he wants to hang out, and it's always kind of part of the process. I mean, Darius can sneak in, right? Tampa Bay is being linked to Darius Robinson pretty heavily. A lot of the guys in the back, those back 6-7 picks are being linked to Darius.
I
mean, we had him going in the top of the second.
don't hate Darius. I think the problem is all these teams that are jumping up for quarterbacks, the tackles fall. So now all these players are jumping up for tackles, and the corners fall. All these people are jumping up for tackle, quarterback, wide receiver, and corner. These defensive players are going to fall. Can you get a Jared Verse in the 20s? Can you get a Dallas Turner in the mid-teens? Can you get a Jerzon Newton? You know what I'm saying? Like some of these really, really good players are going to fall as I try to stay off my phone so I don't get my picks spoiled.
I'm muting all of them for today.
Yeah. I do want to peek over because this second pick here is going to be a little victory lap for me. If you go back to mock draft 1.0, I think I was talking about Jaden Daniels at 2, mock draft 1.0. So been on it for quite a minute.
Yeah.
But look at that. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Cole Kmet, DeAndre Swift. With a pick in half an hour or so. They got another pick. So now let's jump. Let's stay on the Bears here. If you are at number 9, does a player like Rome, does a player like Malik Neighbors, does a top flight tackle, does it make sense here to invest that type of capital, or do you trade back, restock even more, and fill out the depth on your team?
So the Bears only have 4 picks in this draft. That's it. And they just used one of them on Caleb Williams. So they have 3 more picks in this entire draft process. So you want to get more, right? I mean, as much as we want to talk about how good the Bears potentially can be now, with Caleb, this is a very competitive division. Rome definitely moves the needle. But if someone wants to move up to that 9 spot, especially if it's someone like someone we've seen like the Jaguars, the Rams, someone really trying to jump up a lot of spots, you recoup a lot of picks. And you can go ahead and use those picks to grab another wide receiver. Are they going to be to the caliber of Rome Odunze or Malik Neighbors? No, nowhere close. But you need positional depth guys at the very least. You need to fill out a roster, right? And that's something I think Chicago should do. As much as let me tell you, if Rome falls to 9, as much as we love Rome, they should probably take Rome. If Rome's not there, if he ends up going somehow to Tennessee or Atlanta or somewhere else, or someone else trades up with Tennessee potentially and jumps them, then they should trade out of it very comfortably. Trade out of it.
That's a badass draft cap, by the way. Shout out to the NFL this year for their draft.
They actually did a good job with their draft caps this year. Yeah.
On the flip side of everything you just said, just a rebuttal, if Rome is sitting there at number 9, that just drives up the potential compensation package for that trade.
Yeah. And
I think if the Bears have identified at number 9 3 or 4 players that they would draft, and then they can jump back to 14, right? Pick up a 2nd and a 4th or something like that.
Be huge.
Now you're sitting at 14. What if there's a couple you're still comfortable, like, okay, we still got a guy like Amarius Mims and a guy like Graham Barton. We would take either of these guys. Okay, let's drop back to 20. Yep. Now, you don't have to go from 9 to 20. If you can go from 9, a la the Cardinals last year, I think they went from 3 to 8 to 6 and did all this and got the tackle they wanted.
Yep.
It's going to be very, very interesting to see what after about this 3rd pick here, and I think the Patriots could move. I don't think they're going to move.
I don't think so either.
I think things are going to get wild.
Yeah. Washington on the clock here, 2 minutes and 30 seconds left right now. With the pick, why is it that Washington is going Jaden over Drake? What's the reasoning behind this, right? Because on a lot of people's boards, including mine, including yours, Drake May is in front of this guy. So why is Washington going with Jaden over Drake?
You're talking about Drake May as a project quarterback. He hasn't played a ton in college. He still has more to learn. And then you have a player like Jaden Daniels who's played a ton.
5 years.
He's played a massive amount of college football.
Yeah.
He's been successful at the highest level at that, the division stuff he played in. I think everybody looks at the Lamar Jackson comparison and thinks to themselves that he can't throw the football. The dude's an accomplished passer, 71% completion rating, 40 touchdowns. He's not Lamar Jackson as a passer. The man can pass the football. And I just think that it's hard to judge the Commanders off of anything that's happened before because they have new ownership. They have a new Adam Peters over there. They got a new everything. They got new everything. So let's just see. Patriots already 8.5 minutes in here.
Yep.
So
it is the first Washington draft choice of the post-Dan Snyder era.
come on,
The Josh Harris, Magic Johnson et al. Era.
make me
First pick.
a savant.
With the second pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Jaden
Yep.
Daniels.
Let's go! Let's go! I'm so hyped.
So I think what something doesn't get talked about enough is I think the floor to a lot of running quarterbacks is pretty high. You know,
Absolutely.
the problem is if Jaden can develop into where he doesn't just scramble, because when he scrambles, he runs. He doesn't really look down the field a lot. His eyes are not here. They're here. They're down here. He's surveying the field to run. If he can change his style just a bit, and this comes down to health, and this comes down to just obviously gaining more yards, being more successful, just being a better quarterback. But if he can be a better scrambler more than a runner, he's going to be a really successful player in the league at the end of the day. His health is a big concern because of his weight, obviously. And
A tiny guy. Look
yeah,
at him.
yep, he's a buck 80,
He looks like a slot wide receiver.
Yep, 6'3" and 3/8", I think it said. So he's close to 6'4". He's 180 pounds or whatever it is. So he's pretty small. Again, if he can develop, he's going to be really successful. But the problem is about just one of my coworkers. I text him the link. I said just in case, and he said just in case I want to watch the worst content in my life.
Hey, shout out to all the haters. You can hate all you want. Just thumbs up the video. That's all you got to do.
Yep.
And talk shit in the comments. Line them up. We're here for it.
So Patriots on the clock.
Yeah, we're not going to tip any picks, obviously. If you're on Twitter, if you're on Instagram, you can see the stuff before it happens. But Adam Schefter did just report that the Patriots have a 0% chance of trading out of this pick and that they're going to take their QB of the future.
Is JJ McCarthy in play here?
I have to be honest with you. With all the talk of Drake May falling,
Mm-hmm.
if all the reporting had been going on that the Patriots were absolutely in love with Drake May, there would be no talk of him falling.
Yeah.
I think that the fact that they brought in all these other quarterbacks, knowing that there was going to be a quarterback on the board for them, because this Jaden Daniels thing, I've been on it for a while.
Yeah.
It's been a betting favorite for a while.
Yep.
And the Patriots, they can make a phone call and say, hey, what are you thinking about this? What are you thinking about that? And you got friends in organizations, they'll tell you, yeah, we're leaning really strongly towards Jaden. So they've known for a while he wasn't, I don't really like that. Number 3, that's not great. But draft comp to Robert Griffin III.
Yeah.
But I think that they've done their due diligence on these quarterbacks. I think JJ McCarthy is in play.
Yeah.
Now, I got to tell you, early on in the draft process, there was some talk that Drake May could be the number 1 pick over Caleb.
Yeah.
Very, very early.
Yep.
That's how much potential this kid has. So if the Patriots go JJ McCarthy here at 3, I think the Cardinals' phone is going to be ringing so hard that it blows itself off the hook, even though they don't have OG phones like that anymore. Oh, the pick is in. The Patriots were ready. All right. I'm going to close my Elon Musk Twitter app, also known as X, and we're just going to let this roll.
Yeah. If
It's got to be Drake, right?
it has to be, but if it is JJ, this falls directly into Monty's hands, right? Into the Arizona Cardinals GM's hands, exactly how he wants it. Because he already said, I will not be making any moves prior to draft day, until we were on the clock, I will not be making a phone call. I will not be receiving phone calls about it. And if there's a caliber of player like Drake May on the board, this falls directly into his hands.
Well, I go back to the first interview Gerard Mayo did as head coach, and
Yeah.
they asked him about moving up, moving out, all this stuff, and he said that, you know what, we're going to do our very best to draft these prospects because we're going to be selecting at a place to take the most important position in the
Yep.
game of football, which screams quarterback. And to be frank with you, Drake May, not being a quarterback that played a ton in college, that may still need a little bit of work. You got Jacoby Brissett sitting right there, ready to
Absolutely.
go. 1 year contract.
And the thing is, what's great about Drake is we're not talking about a guy where it's mental, right? The game it's not a mental thing for Drake. Drake has really good leadership. He has a really good vision of the field. The thing is with Drake, it's like his footwork and sometimes his mechanics and sometimes his accuracy. So the things that are going to be fixed with Drake are going to happen naturally through playing. That's what's going to happen. But having a guy like Jacoby Brissett to, at the very least, come onto the sidelines after a play happens, an interception, and sit down with a vet like that is going to be huge for him as the Patriots select.
Assuming it's Drake May.
I got to plug in my computer.
2024 NFL Draft. The New England Patriots select Drake May.
There it is.
Quarterback, North Carolina.
There you go, sir. I have to plug in the computer. Do you have is that the closest plug that you have?
But if you go into the one of those things underneath the TV, I have an extension cord that I used for mine.
Pretty close. Just back it up a little bit too.
We made plans here to do this this draft show roughly a month ago, and Jacob brought his computer over not fully charged.
It was fully charged. That's the issue.
I got to tell you, they didn't wait very long to make that pick.
No.
You know, seems like they knew and they were ready and they were prepared to make that pick. It doesn't even sound like they stayed on the clock very long to take, potential trades.
Perfect. All right. I gotta say, as a Cowboys fan, this is perfect to me because I didn't want to go against Drake May twice a year for the next 10 years. Again, that's the caliber of player I believe he is. I truly believe in the intangibles of Drake May and the player he is now, playing with the garbage he already plays with. I think he's going to be successful. Might not be year one. I think he's going to develop a little bit, but I think by that year 3 mark, he's going to blow up.
Well, you're talking 6'4", 6'4.5", 230 pounds. I mean, he's a corn-fed quarterback from North Carolina.
Mhm.
That's all you could say.
Yep.
Again, not tipping a pick, but an interesting message here from Adam Schefter. The Cardinals are not expected to trade out of their pick here.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that they've identified a wide receiver that they're very much in love with, and they're going to go ahead and take that wide receiver, who, interesting enough, I don't know if you saw the news, has decided not to sign the NFLPA likeness contract. So they cannot sell his jersey, and he will not be in Madden.
Interesting.
So now we'll have to see if Madden does what the show used to do with Barry Bonds, who also refused, and they put this weird guy in left field. His name was like Joe Random, and they made him a 99 overall at everything because he was supposed to be Barry Bonds. If they'll just put a random player on the team,
Yep.
you know.
Yeah, it's like there was one one of the 2Ks, they would do the same thing. One of the 2Ks, one of the guys refused to do it, and it was one of the main guys. Yeah, there's a lot of whispers, and obviously this isn't going to most likely, happen, but there's a lot of whispers of that. I texted you earlier that Diana Rossini, she has talked to a lot of scouts and a lot of coaches, quarterbacks coaches, wide receiver coaches or developmental coaches. And apparently there's a lot more people that have Malik Neighbors as their one than you would initially think.
Are you calling Malik Neighbors to the Cardinals here?
I'm just saying that there's whispers of a lot of scouts having Malik 1 over Marvin Harrison Jr.
That would be crazy.
To me, this would be ridiculous, right? But anything's possible.
The pick is in.
Yeah, it has to be Marvin Harrison.
We're flying so far. I kind of love it.
Yeah, I think after this is really where it starts, right? Pick 5. Are they trading? That's funny. Pick 5. Are they trading? Are they taking J.C. Latham? Are they taking Malik Neighbors? Are they going Talisi Fuaga? Are they going Joe Alt? Like who are they going with? I think after this, it doesn't turn chalk anymore. It turns into the draft.
Well, let's be frank. Check my DoorDash. We knew as best as we could this is how the draft board was going to fall. We were a little unsure about picks 2 and 3 and how they were going to go, but we kind of knew, assuming Marvin Harrison is the guy here.
Cardinals decided to do by sticking and picking while the Chargers are already a minute and a half into their clock.
With the 4th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yep.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Ohio State.
Well, Maserati is about to hit the show.
Marvin Maserati.
Is that what they call him?
Yeah. The number 1 player in some people's boards. Him and Caleb are 1 and 2.
For sure, for certain.
It's so hard to see this guy not be successful, right? With how good he is now, not as what he can develop into. If he can fix this, this, and this. It's what he can be, what he is now. His floor as a wide receiver. Floors aren't talked about a lot unless you're talking about goddamn Ladd McConkey this year, right? The floor with Ladd is super solid, and you're going to see him be in the NFL for the next 12 years as a pretty decent slot. For Marvin Harrison Jr., his slot is still incredible.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison is probably the type of player that is going to carry the gauntlet of here's all the expectations, and then he continues to meet them or beat them from the jump, assuming he stays healthy and things like that.
Right.
There's really not something you could say about Marvin Harrison Jr. that would even stop you from, there's drafts where you don't need quarterbacks in the top 3 picks. And, this guy has got all the talent in the world to be a number 1 overall pick. It just happens to be that this is a QB needy draft this year. So,
yeah, when it comes to Marvin Harrison Jr., I think that some people have asked the question, would Marvin Harrison Jr. really be drafted this high if his name was like Ted? If he's not Marvin Harrison Jr., at the end of the day, this guy did no testing, no pro day, no nothing, right? He didn't do shit. And I think a big part of this is not that he was just told by potentially his father and other people around him not to test, but also maybe the Cardinals. There's a lot of speculation that the Cardinals maybe went to him and said, we're selecting you at 4. You don't have to test. We don't give a fuck what you test at. We're selecting you right at 4. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Well, and let's be honest. You bring Marvin Harrison in for a workout, a top 30 workout, they tested him.
Yep.
I'm sure. Hey, let's get out. Let's run some routes. Let's let Kyler throw to you. Whatever the case may be, they already know what they're getting with him. I mean, these college teams have the TrackMan data. They have everything. They know how fast these guys run. They have everything. The 40 is now. I know Malik Neighbors ran the 40 twice, even though he ran the 4.3 the first time, is kind of a shot at Marvin Harrison Jr. I love the competitiveness.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. Marvin Harrison at number 4 has been the draft pick since these mock drafts. Since the day the season ended, we knew this was how this was going to go.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, let's talk Chargers if they stay. Are we seeing Joe Alt off the board here? Are we seeing fucking J.C. Latham crazily off the board here?
If you're going J.C.
Malik
Latham,
Neighbors?
you can get – now, Malik wouldn't surprise me. Malik – so I think the two probable picks here is Malik and Joe Alt. If you don't go at those two positions or those two places, if you're going J.C. Latham, you have to trade out. Because you can get J.C. Latham at 11, 12, 13, and very specifically 11, 12, 13 because that's the Vikings, that's the Broncos, and that's the Raiders. 3 quarterback needy teams who are looking to get up to that 5th position. J.J. McCarthy is on the board right now, and somebody wants that kid right now while we're talking.
Yeah, and frankly, as we're at 3 minutes and 55 seconds here, there's no surprises on how the board has shaken out so far for the Los Angeles Chargers. My apologies. Everything that's happened so far here is chalk to the point of we knew these guys would be off the board in the first 4 rounds. So nothing surprising has happened for the Chargers. So if they're staying in to select this pick, then they know who they're taking, and I imagine the pick would be in by now. Now, they still may take, a player if the trades aren't as, good as what they want them to be. But I really feel like we're going to come back from our nice little commercial that we're staring at here. And see, you don't have to watch commercials. You guys get to be entertained by us. So I think we're going to see the trade is in. Now, is it going to be the Vikings or is it going to be the Broncos?
I want to say the Vikings because they've prepped, right? They went up and they got another first-round pick, and they have the capital to do so. But for some reason, I'm so bothered, and I want to say the Broncos. Like, the Broncos are sticking with me really, 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 like, a lot. We've seen Sean Payton doesn't give a shit about his first-round picks. He doesn't care about his picks. He doesn't care about what goes on. He wants his quarterback, right? And as much as he's touted as the quarterback guru and all this shit, he cut Russell Wilson when he was supposed to fix Russell Wilson, and anybody could have done that at that point. So they need their quarterback now because there's no chance in hell you can go into a season with Zach Wilson, Ben DiNucci, and Jarrett Stidham. Like, you can't go into
Whoa.
All right.
Whoa. You know what I'm going to say, right?
Yeah, Ben DiNucci.
I love me some Ben DiNucci. Ben DiNucci is a Madden legend.
And
All right.
still on the clock. Now, is this on the clock because they're deliberating or because they're looking for a trade?
I think at this point you're on the clock. You've heard all the trade offers and nothing has come up. I'm guessing with only 1:30 to go, the Chargers are going to stay here and pick. And I'm going to go ahead and go chalk. I'm going to say it's going to be Joe Alt.
I see the J.C. Latham stuff. I see why. Because they have their left tackle. The pick is in, so they're picking.
Now, I have to say, we've done so many mocks where we've traded them out of this. The fact that they're sticking is pretty exciting because
if they go Joe Alt, this changes Tennessee.
Yeah, and frankly, if they go Malik Neighbors here, this changes a lot of teams that were trying to jump up into the top 10 to get one of these pass catchers. Because now Tennessee could go Rome. Atlanta could go Rome. I mean, there's a lot of
Tennessee and Atlanta could trade out.
See that 20 pass touchdowns in 2022, career low for Justin Herbert. They get rid of Mike Williams. They trade away Justin Herbert. I'm of the
Give him
mindset
that.
here that it's Malik Neighbors.
Yeah,
No Austin Eckler.
it's a Bear offense right now. Well, we know they're going to get, Blake Corum tomorrow.
Yeah.
So they're going to run the shit out of the ball.
Junior Colson.
Junior Colson. They're going to try to get Chris Jenkins. They're going to try to get Mike Sanderstill.
They got a tight end.
Yeah.
Michigan's got a tight end.
They're going to try to grab every Michigan player they possibly can. So actually, they're picking Chris Jenkins here, actually, or they're picking Blake Corum right here at 5th.
Or they're taking J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, because for some reason their quarterback odds were 6-1 to pick a quarterback with their first pick.
I'm not going to look at it.
Daniel Jeremiah has Ron Dunze above Malik Neighbors too.
I want to look at it, but I'm not going to look at it. Honestly, I wouldn't. Just so everybody knows, Bowers was the conventional wisdom for the Chargers at 5 for a really long time, and then he drops down to 15 to 20, and now he's back up to 10. So they're taking a long time to get this pick up there.
They're saying, "Are you sure? Are you sure you want Blake Corum? Are you? We can reset the clock for you." And while the commissioner walks up to the podium booth, we're gonna listen in to see what the pick is.
So the coach of the championship college team in Michigan is about to make his first.
Who's it gonna be?
As a Chargers HC. I see what you did.
I'm not gonna say Joe.
In the 2024
Malik Neighbors.
I'm saying Neighbors.
the Los Angeles Chargers select Joe Alt.
Oh, chalk it up! Chalk it up. Chargers go chalk Joe Alt.
Massive.
6'9", 320 pounds.
Yep. The best tackle in this draft, bar none. It's as much as I like a lot of the offensive linemen. This is a really good offensive lineman class. As good as it is, Joe Alt is head and shoulders above the rest. I mean, look at that bend, dude. The reset. It's insane.
Well, that's the reason why Joe Alt is so impressive and the reason why he's such a highly touted prospect. Because when you get these tackles that are 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", their bend normally isn't that good.
Yep, and their leverage is horrible.
It's normally something they really struggle with. And you look at the most premier pass rushers in the NFL right now. They're the bendy, get underneath the tackle. Holy hell, that's a big old piece of man meat. Look at that boy.
Yeah, it's huge.
My goodness, that is a big boy. Anyways, the pass rushers, they got the bend, they get under the tackles, they do all this slick shit.
Yep.
And Joe Alt is the type of player that can stick with that, reset his feet as we just saw in that clip, and stick with the bendier pass rushers in the NFL we're predicting.
Yeah.
So for a team that's rebuilding and trying to protect their franchise quarterback, I have to say, for all the talk of all the fireworks, we're just chalk right now.
Now, I'll tell you what, this Chargers offensive line is damn good. Starting off with the tackles, we have Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater. We have Zion Johnson, and we have Corey Linsley. I forget who their other guard is, and I apologize, but they have another guard out there as well. But you have those 4 guys who are relatively young and talented. We've already seen what Rashawn can do. He's been an all-pro before. Zion has a lot of potential with him, and he's been a solid guy if he can stay on the field. Corey Linsley is a vet who kind of holds that center together. And now you're adding Joe Alt. Now, what do? Do you move Rashawn over to the right, or do you move Joe Alt over to the right? Who's the better run blocker?
They want to run the ball.
Yep.
They want to run the ball behind with Blake Corum. So, I guess honestly, that's probably an argument, probably a discussion they're going to make in training camp. As far as this goes, what are we thinking here for New York? Thinking Neighbors?
Rashawn Slater had a 59.5 run block grade.
Yeah,
from PFF.
Not great.
Not amazing. Malik Neighbors is on the board, and JJ McCarthy's there.
Woo! JJ McCarthy at 6, huh?
Yeah. So you have JJ sitting there, waiting to be drafted.
There was
I don't know if this is JJ.
There was a lot of talk, though. I saw this, that they don't even want Daniel Jones to play this year because they don't want him to get hurt and cash in on some of the injury guarantees in his contract.
Yeah.
So Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
How
it's
quick
in.
was that?
It's in, and it just
All right, who
what
is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it?
it's Neighbors.
Is it Neighbors?
Yeah, it's
Tommy DeVito, bro. I think it's a tackle.
a tackle. Wow. Yeah, how fast the pick was in. This could be Neighbors or JJ. Whether as soon as that they knew that JJ was still going to be sitting there after the Chargers, or as soon as Alt got picked, it was like, oh, we have to pick Neighbors here at this point. So
Also, 2020 podcast live stream draft sponsored by Wingstop.
turn the lights off on the Cowboy fan. Shut the fuck up. He's a coworker's a Bucks fan.
Buccaneers fan?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's a weirdo.
He's rooting for a team that just gave Baker Mayfield $100 million.
He likes Baker. Yeah, a tackle. If they're going tackle here, are they going Latham, Fuaga, Foshanu? If they take one of those right tackles, Evan Neal automatically moves into guard.
Bro, I just said tackle. I didn't say offensive tackle.
Just going Byron Murphy. Yep.
Chalking it up.
Yep.
Malik Neighbors. Chalkaroo.
So unfortunately, as the Cowboys fan, Malik Neighbors is as much as comparisons aren't always super accurate. This guy is being compared to the likes of like Antonio Brown-esque players. There's been very few players in the NFL ever be able to not only when they change direction, they accelerate. Guys on planet Earth aren't supposed to do that. And Antonio Brown, that's why it made him so special. For a guy who was only 5'10", 5'11", to be able to get that type of separation and be the best wide receiver in the NFL for 3-4 years was because of that turn and acceleration at the same time. Malik Neighbors has that type of change of direction combination with his speed. It's so monstrous. And a decade after drafting Odell Beckham Jr. from LSU, they go with another LSU wide receiver to terrorize the NFC East. Now, Tennessee's on the clock. Joe Alt's off the board. Malik Neighbors is off the board. Romo Dunze is sitting there. A trade down is very possible. Who's the next tackle that you would consider at this point? Because both tackle positions are up. They want to keep their quarterback upright. Fashanu would be the best pass protector here.
I would go Fashanu.
By far the best pass protector. So, Oregon, this is a big trade down candidate.
Man. We have done so much talk about how crazy the draft was going to be and how many trades were going to be and how it was going to pop off. And we haven't had any fireworks yet.
Yeah. It's been slow. We need a trade. We need a reach on a player. And with Tennessee here, I think if they go tackle here, it's a little bit – if they don't trade down and take a tackle, trading down is difficult, but if they don't trade down and take a tackle, it's a little bit of a reach. Fashanu is not projected to go until 14-ish to roughly New Orleans. I
I just had a Chargers fan text me and tell me they reached.
That's insane. Yeah, that's just false. I think people see Malik. People don't understand how good Malik Neighbors actually is because of Marvin Harrison Jr. Any one of these three guys between Malik, Rome, and Marvin Harrison Jr. are the number one wide receivers in their class, outside of like Jamar Chase when he comes out, right?
Well, I mean, Jamar Chase, the same thing with Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson was taken in like the mid-20s, I think. It's been a long time since we've had like a true blue top 3, top 4, top 5 wide receiver come out that was just the cream of the crop. And the crazy thing is Marvin Harrison's taken 4th, and it makes you think that, man, he must be so much better than everyone else. But in reality, I mean, Neighbors and picks in for Tennessee, no trade. Neighbors and Rome Odunze are just right behind Marvin Harrison.
Yep.
So
a lot of people don't realize.
What are we doing here?
Rome.
Really?
With DeAndre Hopkins only being on contract until, I believe, the end of next year, and he's older, right? You know, DeAndre Hopkins is an older player. Yes, you do have Calvin Ridley. If you grab a Rome Odunze and you have you have Kyle Phillips over there in the slot and DeAndre Hopkins as a deep threat, it's a really, really, really good wide receiver core. And we're talking about Rome being an automatic starter after DeAndre's gone, or he goes hurt, or he's banged up and he can't play that week, or I don't know if a tackle is the right move here. As bad as the offensive line is, I don't know if it's the right move at 7. I don't like it at 7. I don't.
I think that.
I don't know why I just shifted over.
Oh, I was like, did we not go live anymore? I think that in the past couple of days, we have seen a lot of talk about a certain player jumping into the top 10 here that we hadn't mocked and we don't even think is in the top 4 or 5 at his position. And I think that the reasoning for that is because there's a team here, whether it's the Titans or the Falcons, that are absolutely in love with this guy. So I'm not saying this is where we see an off-the-cusp tackle go off the board here, but I think between 7, 8, and 9, maybe there's a lot of talk about J.C. Latham because whoever's going to move into 9 with the Bears are taking him. They've identified he's the guy. They don't want to miss out on him, so they're just going to jump the 9 to take him.
That's a good point. I want give me something crazy. Oh, and by the way, we're still on defensive player watch. Like, no defensive players yet. There has never been in the history of the NFL 8 straight picks of offensive players. And at the 8th pick is the Atlanta Falcons, who are projected to
take defense.
So we'll see if that actually happens.
Falling dudes, turning, twerking, and finishing guys. So the Tennessee Titans, this was a need they had to address. I'm sure Holmes would have been a great pick, would have been a great option. He was off the board. They get the next guy, that was JC Lake.
And so the Falcons have made their selection.
Bang. Okay, we should be back. People in the comment section, please let us know if you can hear us now. Slight technical difficulties. Hopefully we won't have any more. So if you
What
just
does that warning say?
streams current. It's probably just lagging out a little bit. There you go. Okay, cool. Thanks, Dan.
It says still no sound.
What?
Oh, now it says there you go.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. You don't want to eat chicken wings on camera? There's people that'll pay for that kind of thing. Normally the chick is like naked when she eats the chicken wings, but I know there's some weirdos at work that might pay to watch you eat some chicken wings
Probably.
on camera.
All right, JC Latham. It's like you said.
Yeah,
we haven't really talked about.
a super weird pick here. I mean, you're talking about a big old boy from Alabama. He played against all the best defenders in the nation, so he's proved himself. Not somebody. I mean, you and I talked about if JC Latham was a guard at a couple points, and
I think he is.
obviously the Titans believe he's a tackle because you don't take a guard at 7. So now here we go. Are we seeing a defensive player off the board here? Pick is in.
If it's me, I take Rome. Listen, Falcons, I know, I get it. I want to see him take a bite, please. Listen, I know that you guys have Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Darnell Mooney, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier. A lot of offensive weapons. Rome Odunze is better than all of them. Stepping in. He was a better prospect than Drake London. I don't even want to know. Stop it.
Oh my gosh!
Is it this or something next?
Oh my gosh! Oh!
Really going to do this? And whatever happened to the edge rusher? I thought that's what we were going with Atlanta.
Here we go.
With the 8th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Michael Penix Jr.
What? Michael Penix! What did they pay Kirk Cousins? How much money did they give Kirk Cousins? Michael Penix Jr. Whoa! Oh my gosh! Let's go!
Listen.
It's firework time!
Hold on. This is QB3 for me. So I love that Michael Penix gets picked this high. But by the Falcons?
Kirk Cousins arrives in Atlanta. He signs in Atlanta. He leaves.
How many years did Kirk get?
To go to
2?
Atlanta.
3 years?
Minnesota is
I thought he got
sticking
4.
around with this selection.
Oh, was 4.
Having JJ McCarthy get one more.
And we're not talking a young prospect. Michael Penix is up there, right? I mean, we're talking about a guy who's 23, 24 years old.
Okay, Joe Flacco.
That's crazy.
Joe Flacco comparison. They just took – listen, Falcons fans, if y'all just took Joe Flacco, number 8, I'm sorry, terrible pick.
And this is my quarterback 3 over Jaden Daniels, over JJ McCarthy. This is who I like right after Caleb, right after Drake. This is the guy I like. The team fit is interesting. What's the purpose of using your 8th overall pick on a quarterback when you signed? Are we that concerned about the health of Kirk Cousins? Is that what we're really worried about here? Do you take a quarterback 8th overall because of worrying about the health of a quarterback?
I'm going to make it very simple for you. Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Michael Penix. That's all they do is draft offensive talent in the first round.
at pick number 8. All those guys went pick 8. they did not go anywhere else 8. So this is the first time in NFL history that 8 guys, the first 8 guys off the board, are offensive talent. And Rome Odunze is still sitting here for the Bears to take right now. Or for another team to trade up and take JJ McCarthy.
I'm scrambling on my PFF. I'm like, I gotta get this up and
head scratching at the very least. That's what that is. I'm not sure really too much more to say about that. The pick is already in. Chicago's up. If they go Rome again, we've already talked about it. This is a guy who comes in, and Keenan Allen's older. He also has injury risk, and you never know if DJ Moore is ever going to go down for some reason. But Keenan Allen is also only on a 1-year contract. Rome can step in immediately. And just for people who aren't on social media that much, Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze flew to Detroit together. That's number 1. 2, Caleb Williams posted a picture with Rome Odunze very, very recently within the last 2 days as well. So, earliest 4 quarterbacks have been selected. This is the earliest ever 4 quarterbacks have ever been selected. Yeah, wow. This could also be our first defensive player off the board. We're talking about Byron Murphy, interior defensive lineman out of Texas. Quinyon Mitchell could be on the board here. We are talking about Dallas Turner, the edge rusher out of Alabama. Leatu Latu is flying up boards, which he should. Edge rusher 1 for the 2020 podcast. Who do the Bears take here? As you reel.
I guess the Falcons were hooked on Penix. What can we say? I managed to miss who the Bears are taking to see a note that the Jets are working a trade. Michael Penix at 8, bro. What is going on here? Oh, yep. Okay, so I don't know what's happening here, but I do know Minnesota just moved up to 10.
Oh, shit.
The Chicago Bears select Rome Odunze.
Let's go! Our boy Rome to number 9.
Perfect.
Hey, listen, Bears fans, I got to tell you, sometimes just do what you're supposed to do. Sometimes just make the right decision.
Yep.
Look.
I know. Yeah, I saw it.
He wants you to eat the chicken wings.
Rome is wide receiver 2 for us. Incredible prospect. Almost like a do-it-all guy, honestly. Outside of maybe if you want to say, oh, well, he doesn't get the yards after the catch. But then you could also say it might beat 21 contested catches in 2023, led the FBS.
And don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with Malik Neighbors. This is not that we're talking about. We're trying to distinguish between 2 guys that went in the top 10. Neighbors is awesome. I just believe in Rome a tad bit more. This could very easily be a please tell me why. Please tell me why. As I blank on the wide receiver that plays for the Bengals.
Jamar Chase, T. Higgins.
Please tell me why Jamar Chase is better than Justin Jefferson. And I'll tell you why Justin Jefferson is better than Jamar Chase. We can have this argument all day long. This is kind of what we're doing here. Just in this certain situation, we believe in Rome over Neighbors by a smidgen. And that's all we're talking about here.
And it really is by just that much, truly. So Drew already saw apparently that the Minnesota Vikings are working to trade up with the Jets. Is that like official?
And I have the compensation here. The Minnesota Vikings have moved up 1 spot from 11 to 10, and they gave up 11, 129, and 157.
This is JJ, right?
Or it's Bo Nix.
Official. People could probably see it on NFL Network now at this point.
All right,
this is JJ, right?
If you're Bears fan, you just got Caleb Williams, you got Keenan Allen,
Yep.
you got DeAndre Swift, the first free agent signing, and now you got Rome Odunze.
Yep.
I love it.
Oh yeah.
I hate it for me.
Mhm.
I think the 49ers play the Bears in like week 2, but
Again.
the best thing that could ever happen for me, honestly, is that we hit it huge doing this, so I don't have to root for the Niners anymore, and I can just watch football. 'Cause
All right, just enjoy it.
honestly, the 49ers stress me the hell out.
Yeah, oh man, it's we're
What are they doing with Kirk Cousins? They just drafted Michael Penix.
at 8.
Crazy.
Yeah, 4 years, $180 million contract with the Falcons. I don't know, dude. That's
We're gonna
been-
get 5 quarterbacks in the top 10.
Yep. Yeah, this is JJ.
Well, maybe.
Well, and they get to keep their 23rd. So
Well, that's what you. I mean, I almost asked you when the stream started if. I already reported that. Thank you. If they could just sit at 11 and
I text
their
you,
guy.
and I text you early. I said I feel like JJ's falling.
now I have to tell you, the Jets pick up the phone here and they say to the Minnesota Vikings, "Hey, Sean Payton's on the line. Y'all want to dance or what?" You know. Holy hell, Michael Penix.
Yep. And the Jets at 11, they still get their guy, regardless.
Rome, you and Caleb Williams ended up on the same plane from LA to Detroit. Now you get to fly to Chicago together. What can you two accomplish as Bears?
I think amazing things. You know, it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of dedication, but from the glimpses that I've been able to hang out with him, I can tell he has that determination the same as I. So I'm excited to get there.
What's the chance that this isn't quarterback?
After working on his dairy farm in Utah, you have credited your grandfather with your work ethic. As he listens to this
What'd you say?
What's the chance that this is not quarterback?
0.
So the Minnesota Vikings and if it's JJ McCarthy, we will have 5 quarterbacks in the top 10 for the first time ever. We will have
That same Chargers fan that told me that they reached for Alt told me the Bears are killing it, although they took the wrong QB.
What? Who's the right QB for that guy?
I wouldn't even bother to ask. There's always one guy. So, but let me ask you this: what's the plan for Penix here?
Development is Jeff Waterson's here, right?
Yeah,
with endless inspiration at Walmart.
So the question is, what does Michael Penix need to work on, right? That's the big question for everybody. What does Michael Penix need to work on so much that you take him while you have your franchise quarterback who just signed a 4-year contract? What does he need to work on? His middle of the field throwing is subpar. His throwing motion is certainly interesting. Very long windup. He could definitely. There's some room to learn a little bit more about seeing the defense, which goes hand in hand with the middle of the field. But that's 4 years. Now, that's if Kirk Cousins plays out that full 4 years. We don't know if he's going to be healthy. We don't know about age and regression. And it's a backup plan, but a backup plan at 8. I saw the reports that Michael Penix is now getting buzzed for. He won't get past 13 of the Raiders, but I thought 13 of the Raiders was like the floor of where he would go, not the ceiling.
Well, I have to say, frankly, and I am going to eat my chicken wings on camera. Michael Penix can't sit because by the time Kirk's contract is up, you have to pay Penix. You have to know what you have.
Yep. Do the Falcons know something? Did something get figured out between the signing and now with Kirk's injury?
I don't think so because you coming off an Achilles injury, you do so much research. You talk to every doctor. You do so much to make sure he's the guy.
Yeah. So JJ's most likely to pick here, right? Perfect for Kevin O'Connell, likes to throw it over the middle of the field. JJ's pretty good at throwing over the middle of the field. You have Sam Darnold there. Is Sam Darnold starting the year?
I don't think so.
At the start of the year, at the very least, or we're throwing JJ right in.
I think you just start him, man. Like he won a national championship. He's ready to go. There's really, what's the benefit? And frankly, what has Sam Darnold ever shown you that would inspire confidence and just why give Darnold a shot?
I hear you. I think that this is a good division, right?
This was a good second win.
You have the Vikings. You have the Bears who just made all their moves. You have the Lions who are, not going to pick until the late 20s. And then you have Green Bay who aren't going to pick until the mid 20s, and they're a young, up-and-coming team. So someone has to be the loser of that division. Do the Vikings just bide their time and wait until the next year? Start Sam first half, start JJ the next. Detroit just gave their tackle and their wide receiver big money with no future of no talks of Jared Goff getting an extension.
Maybe they're going to trade for Kirk Cousins.
The Lions.
I mean, you feel like you can trade him, but what if he doesn't have a good year this year?
Yeah. As the Vikings pick is in.
I'm now going to turn this over to Sergeant Ewing's nephew, Asher, who will announce the pick in honor of his uncle.
I feel like this entire thing has now been derailed because of Michael Penix. Like, even my whole thought process has been derailed. We still don't have a defensive player.
None. And we won't here.
Hey, suck it to all you stupid Minnesota Vikings fans that told me J.J. McCarthy's not a first-round quarterback. Y'all just traded up in the top 10 to pick him.
Yep. And no defensive player here. And
well, now it's the Jets. So Jets are going tackle or Bowers, right?
Yep. Have to. Yeah, the Jets are almost a lock for Bowers at this point. Me personally, if I'm the Jets, I'm taking Troy Fautanu, the offensive tackle from Washington, who also has interior offensive line flexibility at the same time. So that's the pick for me. You're going all in, right? You're looking for as much weapons as possible. I get it. You want to go to primarily just Brock Bowers, Mike Williams, Garrett Wilson. You go out and you sign two 33-year-old offensive tackles who can't ever stay healthy, an interior offensive line that is suspect and not super healthy all the time. So what are we talking about here?
Okay, but let me make this counter argument to you. Hypothetically, if they take a tackle here and the tackles stay healthy, what do you do with the tackle?
Move the guard.
Well, there's a couple of these guys that really don't play guard.
Yeah.
So if you're going tackle here with the idea that you're going to have to move your number 11 pick to guard, who are you taking?
Troy Fautanu.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Not even a second thought. Easily.
Okay.
But also, don't pick Troy Fautanu and let him slide all the way till Dallas picks him up.
24.
So, yeah. Oh, fuck off. Yeah, that's insane. That's crazy. They just compared J.J. McCarthy to
I was
C.J.
going to say,
Stroud.
tell them what we're seeing.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see the Penn State guy here.
You think we're going to see Fashanu here?
Yeah.
Wow.
And thank you for helping me out with the name, because
Yeah.
I was just going to stick with the college.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, right? The whole purpose of drafting a tackle is not to run the ball, right? They don't give a fuck. It's to keep Aaron Rodgers upright. Your tackles are the reason why Aaron Rodgers played 0.2 seconds last year. So you're talking about the best passing offensive line or a pass protection offensive lineman in this draft and being picked at 11 potentially. So yeah,
I also just don't think. I don't think that you can take a tight end this early. It would be like
you and I didn't have ours until mid-20s.
it would be like if we redrafted right now. We redrafted whatever draft it was. Fred Warner is one of the greatest middle linebackers in the NFL. He's still not a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
You don't draft middle linebackers in the top 5.
Yeah.
You don't draft tight ends. I mean, frankly, the Falcons just did it with Kyle Pitts. And how did that work out?
Yeah. Look at the success post first round pick tight ends. Sam Laporta just last year had incredible success, right? George Kittle was a 5th.
Well,
Travis Kelce's a 3rd.
The tight end class of last year. I mean, Michael Mayer, and the kid that went to Green Bay.
Yeah, Musgrave.
And
then they also have the other one who went to Green Bay. They had 2 tight ends who went to Green Bay who were pretty good. And the pick is in as Roger Goodell makes his way to the podium, and we listen in.
Is it tackle or tight end?
Tight end.
In the 2024 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Olu.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go.
So they go in the direction of
This is my tackle 2, almost tackle 1. This is how good Olu Fashanu is, and I just said it. You bring in Olu Fashanu because he is the best pass-protecting offensive lineman in this draft, bar none. It's not close. He does have some issues in the run game, and there is one issue I think we found out at the combine on why he has these issues in the run game. He has little hands. He has 0 percentile hands. His hand size for an offensive tackle has never been seen. In the wrong direction, not 99th percentile. 0. Never been seen.
You know what they say about guys with small hands?
Sure, what?
Bad run blockers.
Yeah, bad run blockers. So, and he's not horrible. He's not a horrible run blocker. He's just probably not going to develop very much. He is the type of run blocker, unlike Latham, unlike Fatanu, unlike these. Sorry, not Fatanu, but Fuanga. Sorry. When it comes to these guys, these are guys who grab you, hold you, move you. You are moved. Okay, there is a hole created there. With Fashanu, he's pushing you because he can't get a grip on you. So as great as he is as a pass protector, again, number 1 in the class when it comes to pass protection, he's probably not going to get much better than this when it comes to run blocking.
The fact of the matter is, the New York Jets window is now.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely now. You have to keep Aaron Rodgers healthy under all circumstances. The only small question I have about this is if your tackles stay healthy.
They won't.
Okay. It reminds me of a couple years ago when Aaron Rodgers was pissed off because the Packers took Jordan Love.
Tyron Smith has not played a full season in 10 years. You're lucky to get 13 games out of Tyron Smith.
Do you know the last time the Cardinals took a wide receiver in the top 5?
Larry Fitz.
Mm-hmm.
Broncos are on the clock. What's the move?
Bo. I think you're going to see Bo Nix here, or you're going to see Jared Verse.
Over Latu. What about Brock Bowers there?
Bowers?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that. But I didn't see Michael Penix at 8, so does it really
No.
matter?
Yeah. Man. I tell you what. Who's left on?
Here's a stat for you. Sean Payton has never drafted a quarterback in the first 2 rounds.
Wow. I mean, he had Drew Brees for most of his tenure, so didn't really have to. Guys who are still on the board. We have Turner. Dallas Turner still on the board. So it's probably Turner over Verse if we're going defensive end. Verse is still here. A corner is still here. So whether that's Arnold or whether that's whether it's Quinyon Mitchell or Bo Nix, you get your guy. You say we don't have a second round pick. We can't get Bo Nix, and we don't want to trade down because we're really nervous that Vegas is going to take Bo Nix.
Seriously, Ghost Town here. M was on stage and we're going meal time.
I'm not gonna. I have nothing to
It's
retort.
not going to disparage it. It's not right. It's not right.
No.
I'm talking about this.
Not only that, they don't, with the cap hit of cutting Russell Wilson,
Mhm.
this isn't a team that can go trade for a quarterback. This isn't a team that can sign one of these free agent quarterbacks. Unless you're that confident in Jarrett Stidham.
Ben DiNucci.
That's who they're gonna be picking right now.
Do you remember at the time?
This is the worst quarterback room in the league.
Quarterbacks, it's wide receivers and tackles.
I think with the fact that Minnesota moved up to 10, the only other people out there that were in line for J.J. McCarthy were the Broncos, and we'd heard that. I think the Broncos are taking quarterback here.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I don't know if you saw this or not, but the Falcons took Michael Penix.
Yeah.
So
I mean, this is the last potential starting quarterback to go off the board. Vegas is actually just going to go ahead and they're going to take Spencer Rattler at 13. Michael Pratt.
Pratt, yeah, let's Pratt it up.
They're going to pick Tua's brother.
Come on, let's get it in. We need some excitement.
Bowers, Arnold, Fuanga, Fatanu, Mitchell, Turner, Verse, Latu, Brian Thomas, Byron Murphy, all guys who are still on the board right now.
Is it safe to say that if they go quarterback here, we'll never see another draft that's 12 straight picks? The first 12 picks are offense.
Oh, I don't think so, because it was in NFL history, it was 7.
Now, does Zach Wilson stop them from making a quarterback?
No way.
Sean Payton is weird about who he can fix.
In the 2024 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Bo Nix.
Yep.
Quarterback.
6. Half of your picks so far are quarterbacks. To me, with Bo is probably one of out of all these guys here, he's probably the most pro ready outside of maybe Caleb because of the potential with Caleb. I think Bo I don't know how big Bo's ceiling is past this. He's been in college for a long time. He's developed from Auburn to Oregon into a good quarterback. And I like Bo a lot. I don't know where the ceiling is past this. Bo's floor is higher than most of these guys. You know, higher than Penix's,
Listen,
probably higher than May, probably higher than.
I like Bo Nix's ceiling a hell of a lot more with a coach like Sean Payton than I do with a coach like Raheem Morris.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, man, I mean, Bo Nix sounds badass. After a couple days after they acquired Zach Wilson, a surprise pick.
Well, you have to have a backup, but Zach Wilson is
Bo Nix?
obviously a cut candidate. Did I say Bo Nix or did I say Zach Wilson? Zach Wilson is obviously a cut candidate.
Yeah. I like Bo. I really do, and I think this is a good pick. You have to make the pick here. A reminder: hey, Broncos, you don't have a second round pick. This pick had to be made here. If you have a second round pick,
Oh, the Raiders pick is in. Let's go.
okay,
Xavier Worthy.
Dude.
Come on down. Please do something stupid. Don't take Quinion Mitchell.
Drew's first pick every month is Bo.
It's one of my sells, guys.
So we're looking at the unfortunate Las Vegas Raiders here at this position. A couple of guys we're going to keep an eye on here. We're going to keep an eye on a right tackle. So we're looking at Fuanga, who's a mauler at right tackle. We are looking at Fatanu, who has the tackle guard combo of flexibility. This might be our first defensive player.
And now Broncos Twitter reporting Bo Nix was QB3 on the Broncos board behind Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. Oh my gosh. Raiders fans. Oh my gosh.
I think this might be our first defensive player.
It's not.
No.
It's not.
Is it a tackle?
Oh my gosh. Okay, Raiders fans. I don't hate you guys for this. It's a little funky considering what you did last year, but hey.
No, they didn't.
Hey, do y'all's thing.
Oh,
Do
no,
y'all's
they didn't.
thing.
They did. Did they go Brock?
The 2024 NFL Draft. The Las Vegas Raiders select Brock Bowers, tight end, Georgia.
You guys just took Michael Mayer. Oh, and I get it. Brock isn't Michael Mayer, but Michael Mayer is a good tight end. And oh man, is this just BPA for them? Did they say we're taking we're taking a tackle or we're taking a defensive player until Brock Bowers all of a sudden is at 13? Is this a BPA or is this Brock Bowers is on our board and we want him the entire time?
It's an interesting pick with every corner in the class on the board here.
Yep.
It's an interesting pick.
Yep. The fit is completely different than Michael Mayer, right? Michael Mayer is a guy who can block on the line.
Look, that's a Raiders flag. He's got a Raiders hat. They might have known, man.
Yeah.
They might have known before this. I mean, I get having a bunch of hats there, but
Well, I think when it comes to Brock, this is a guy who you get design touches for. This is a guy you go out for screens. You go out and you make design routes. He is the number one option.
but they don't have a quarterback.
They do not. Gardner Minshew is going to start.
Well, we saw what he did with the Colts last year. He almost went to the Super Bowl. So,
But there's a question for Raiders fans. You go 500 because that's what Gardner Minshew can get you. You go 500 because you weren't better than the Colts last year, and that's what they got. He got them. So you go 500, and then what? You're back in the same position in a quarterback class that's way worse next year than this year. Sound off, Raiders fans. What do you do here? What do you do?
now, as a Cowboys fan,
Fuck you.
Because
I don't even
it's
want to know what you're gonna say. Just fuck you.
We've got you. Become a member at Safe.
Power Sound Series.
Can I start over?
Yeah, good.
Now, as a Cowboys fan, you have to be pretty excited about some of the tackle talent that's dropping.
Absolutely.
I mean, we might be 2 or 3 picks away from an Amarius Mims going.
Yeah.
You know, my draft crush for the 49ers has been Tyler Guyton, and as more offensive players go off the board, I mean, if Latu's sitting there at your pick,
Yeah, so Cowboys don't usually take guys outside of their top 30 visits, right? But if the Cowboys have Latu sitting there, that would be my dream, right? But we have Byron Murphy falling still. We have Latu falling still. Quignon, every single. I want Cooper. Yeah, my dad still wants Cooper, and I get it. You know, we play a lot of 3 safety sets. And with Cooper on the field, whether he plays slot, whether he plays safety, whether he plays box safety to play mainly linebacker on nickel situations, he would be a good fit. Absolutely. You know, him and I sat on the phone for almost an hour talking, about Cooper a little bit today. And he makes sense as the best tackling corner in this class, close to tackle. I mean, better tackler than some of the linebackers in this class. It's hard not to see on why you wouldn't want Cooper. He's your corner 1,
admittedly, did not start that way either.
Yeah.
I did not think that Cooper DeJean had a position that was tailor-made for him in the NFL. I thought that a team was going to have to stick him all over the place. And I just love the idea of a player that you could put him single high if you had to. You can line him up in the slot. You could blitz him. What kind of look can you show on defense to confuse the offense, to confuse the opponent's pass, play caller when you have a player like Cooper that you can move all over the.
Yep. So New Orleans on the clock here.
Hopefully we didn't just jinx, the Saints into taking Cooper DeJean.
Right.
Here.
This has to be tackle to me. You have Ryan Ramczyk, who is a fantastic tackle, but might not even play because he might medically retire. And then you took Trevor Penning, which, by the way, I always said that entire fucking time he was a horrible pick and he was a horrible fucking tackle, and he was not going to develop into the thing you wanted him to. And he did not. Okay? So, Trevor Penning, not a good tackle. And you got it. We're talking about Derek Carr, who has no fucking pocket presence to speak of. I think you need to take the tackle here. Now, the question is which tackle are we taking?
Is it safe to say that we're not going to see any more quarterbacks in the first round?
Yes. That's
Okay.
pretty safe. Yes. Quarterback run is done. Now, we hear the hype all the time about quarterbacks.
This has got to
they
be
usually
this
fall.
is this has got to be
Fuanga,
Fuanga
but he's a right tackle.
if they're going tackle.
I could see
I don't think
Fatanu.
it really matters. Right tackle, left tackle.
Some people see Fuanga as a guard,
Yeah, well, you and me saw J.C. Latham as a guard, and he just went 7th.
as a tackle.
Well, hopefully.
Yeah,
God
or a
forbid
guard.
if they took him at 7.
I mean, where'd Skoronski go last year? Exactly.
Skronsky's the tackle.
Yeah. So, and they still haven't made their pick here, or they just flip the script and they'd say, "Hey, we're going to take the first defensive guy off the board finally." And the Colts have to be pretty excited so far as well, with every single defensive back still on the board, which defensive back is one of their biggest needs. Still on the board, every single one of them. And on top of that, Raiders should have drafted Latu. You know what, Raiders fans? Absolutely. Latu is super. He's uber talented. Again, 2020 podcast, he is edge 1 for us. We're talking about somebody who is, now here's a guy who has every single tool at his disposal in terms of first moves, second moves, counter moves. I have never seen a guy at the combine in Latu to literally sit there and someone asks him, what are your counter moves when someone hits you with a, and he lists off all of his counter moves because he has everything under his repertoire. You go ask a guy like Dallas Turner that. Dallas Turner can't name all that stuff off. Dallas Turner won't name, oh, I got this counter move and that counter move. Dallas Turner is incredibly toolsy, but he's not as talented right
You
now
know what's
as Latu.
crazy? We did 5 mock drafts and we never took offense at 8. And then they go quarterback.
Yeah, left field.
Okay, so we agreed on
Latu, Crosby, Mahomes might not be able to get out of the pocket. Yeah, and then you have your Raiders fans. Not to
Mahomes don't need to get out of the pocket. He'll throw it with his left hand and still drop 4 touchdowns on the Raiders.
not to knock the Raiders fans down a peg. I just want to remind you that you selected Tyree Wilson last year.
Tyree Wilson!
So
Almost as big of a bust as Mozzie Smith.
all right, bro.
You mentioned him early. Okay, so we're guessing tackle here,
Yes.
and we're both agreed that we're going to go.
Mims.
No, come on, you're screwing everything up.
I say it's Mims.
It's an F brother, bro.
It's Mims.
Excuse him while he eats another chicken wing.
Leave me alone.
He's being more professional than I am. Shout out to Wingstop for sponsoring this. They haven't paid us yet, but hopefully they will. All right, here comes the Saints pick, 14.
All right, let's see it.
With the 14th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Tolaise
Fuanga. Yep. Okay.
Oregon State.
Now, and
For me, he was right behind Joe Alt. I just love
Dude.
watching him and the temperament
Fuanga is crazy, bro.
with which he
His first step.
a little emotion.
Everyone who's watching right now, if you're tuning into NFL Network currently, watch what they're playing on your screen, and I want you to watch his first step. His first step is stupid, especially in the run game. It is insane. Look how quick this man gets off the line. He's not tackle 3 to me because he's not as good as the other guys. It's just the other guys are just that talented. We're talking about Fashanu and Alt. Fuanga is there, man.
I do love a draft profile where one of your characteristics is listed as nasty.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a guy who was, we said nasty. This is the guy who was potentially going to go to Chargers.
So now we have a funky team here in the Colts.
Every defensive back is on the board.
Well, every defensive player is on the board
Yeah.
because now we're at 14 picks with no defense.
And Brian Thomas is on the board. And unfortunately, he might go a lot earlier than people think. Xavier Worthy is on the board as well.
I think Xavier Worthy is safe. I told you the Raiders do some crazy shit, though.
Yeah. Indy takes defensive back. Quinyon Mitchell would be the go-to, I think, here.
Told me that if I could get, as if I had anything to do with it, 6 quarterbacks taken before he's on the clock, 15th overall. He said, quote, I will come on your show whenever you want, Chris.
You want to let the people know what we were just listening to?
The Chris Ballard of the Colts told Rich Eisen that if 5 quarterbacks were taken before their pick, that he would come on the Rich Eisen show anytime Rich wanted him on. So we got a live look into the draft room here. It looks like they're calling the pick in. Doesn't look like they're doing much here in the trade market.
Unless they are.
Now, is it possible that they changed the rules on us and only offensive players are allowed to go in the first round tonight, and then
We just didn't realize it.
the defensive players go tomorrow?
Possible.
You've got Terry Norwell from Alabama. You've also got Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo, two excellent players. So look, eventually somebody's got to take defense. So who's it going to be? Who wants to do it here?
I think we'll stay here and find that.
Well, we just saw some cheering in the Colts draft room, which means the clock that we're seeing counting down is just a mere formality. Ian.
So I want to bring up another need for the Indianapolis Colts. You guys talked
This is amazing content. I'm sure people are sitting
Wings.
watching me watch NFL Network. The Colts are a real wild card here. We've talked about them trading out. Well, I guess we did have a trade. The Jets traded, but we've talked about them trading out. We've talked about defense. We've talked about defensive line. We've talked about corner. We've talked about a little bit of everything. What's the most likely here? Quinyon Mitchell?
So
What's the most off the wall?
Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, wide receiver would be really weird. Bro, J.C. Latham went 7th.
Yeah.
And if that wasn't crazy enough, Michael Penix went 8th.
Yep.
And then the Raiders took a tight end again.
Yep. So with Chris Ballard saying he would be very excited if obviously 6 quarterbacks went.
That makes me feel like top 10 talent being pushed down. Makes me feel like maybe they go tackle here.
Oh, I don't know. I hope not.
I mean, they're obviously not going. They're not going. The wide receiver. They're not going.
This is Brian Thomas range.
Right.
His over-under is 15.5.
But they just paid Michael Pittman.
That's true, but who else you got? You got Josh Downs, who's fantastic. I love Josh Downs. I was a huge Josh Downs guy last year coming out of the draft. But who else?
Brian Thomas.
And that's what I'm saying. If you're going to go with a speed guy here, this has to be Brian Thomas over Xavier Worthy. I don't give a fuck if he ran a 10th of a second faster. This has to be him. Who, by the way, also, even if a defensive player is picked here, I don't think it's edge rusher.
High five.
And 14 straight offensive.
We're gonna give ourselves some flowers.
And the Indianapolis
Okay.
Colts now have the first overall pick in this draft for defense. If that's what they want.
So your people now on the phone with his people.
Oh,
for
right.
right?
You know what?
You gonna give him tonight?
I'll let the dust
You give him
settle.
tonight?
I'll
Give
let
him
the dust
tonight?
settle. I mean, he just had a
People are watching the live stream like, what are they high-fiving about?
I don't even know what we're high-fiving about.
To make it halfway
Kirk Cousins was not given a heads up that the Falcons would be taking Michael Penix Jr.
And they're being the HC there.
As our good friend, the commissioner walks out here.
Those quarterbacks, the
Did you
6
see it?
that we have
No.
taken,
Oh.
maybe
I was just oohing about the
second-round pick, right?
the whole potential of
Who was our number one defensive player? Would you say?
our number one defensive player. Defense in general?
Yeah.
Probably Latu.
Yeah.
Oh shit, really?
I'm just saying, if Latu went here for the Colts, that would validate what the hell we were talking
Oh
about.
yeah.
We weren't talking Dallas Turner. We weren't talking Jared Verse.
Yep.
We were talking Latu.
Yep.
Now, of course, that would be crazy with all the corners on the board as Kool-Aid falls closer and closer to 31.
Daniels connecting to Brandon Ayuk to beat Justin Herbert became the story.
By the way, Brandon Ayuk is still on the board too for anyone to take.
That's how long it's been.
Yeah, so is CeeDee Lamb. He ain't signed no contract yet either. Sucker.
The 2024 NFL Draft. The Indianapolis Colts select Laiatu.
Nice, beautiful. And he deserves it. He's the edge one, bar none. This is an incredibly talented person.
Let me ask you this though: Does the medical retirement in 2021 bother you at
No.
all?
There's one doctor who said it one time. Every doctor, and I don't even think he's missed a game in college since then. He hasn't missed any games since then. One doctor says it. Another doctor says, you're cleared, you're good. He goes through all the medicals and nobody finds anything. And he
Look-
goes first.
Look at his boy dapping him up like, you're gonna take me to the league, right? I'm gonna be your, gonna break me off, right? When a player gets drafted, the whole crew celebrates because they know they were about to get paid like that. But I will say, shout out to the 2020 podcast. If you guys go back to mock draft number 1, we've been talking about Latu for a really long time.
Yep.
It's our number 1 edge rusher. You know, a lot of people had Dallas Turner mocked at number 8, and here we are at 16, and he still hasn't come off the board. And I feel like that's right. I remember very early on, a couple months ago, you texted me, what are people seeing about Dallas Turner?
Yep.
I said to you, I don't know, Alabama and production.
Yep.
People see Alabama, they see production, and they just assume. So shout out to UCLA,
Yep.
top 15 pick.
Yep.
Shout out to things like the transfer portal and NIL money making stuff like this, possible, because it's exciting to see. You know, I want to see a North Dakota State. You know, I want to see all these crazy schools get drafted. I think that kind of stuff is, UCLA in the top 15.
Yep. So, Quiddy Pay,
Yeah.
Leatu Latu,
Yep.
DeForest Buck.
Oh yeah.
That's a hell of a defensive line.
Yep.
I mean, that's uber talented. Now, Andy,
Like
You
one
have
of the best
question-
slot corners in the league.
now you have questions at corner that you can address in the second very easily. We know the talent, the corner talent in this draft.
Especially if it keeps falling. You got the Max Melton or the Ennis
Rakestraw.
Rakestraw
Yep.
type of player.
Yeah, definitely.
This is wild. 6 QBs, man.
Yep. And we don't get a defensive player until 15. We almost went throughout the half of the draft. You guys, I don't know if you realize this. We might never see this ever again. Ever. This is how talented this is. And as you're watching NFL Network here or ESPN or whatever you're watching, look at the hand placements. Look at the initial contact. Look at the counter contact that the offensive tackle brings to Latu. And look at the counter moves that Latu brings.
And look at him roll over Caleb Williams.
He's just too good. I think that he was just going against Kieran Amagaji, who we will see probably in the second or third. Seattle's on the clock.
This draft is offensive. That's pretty funny.
So Seattle's on the clock. Is this
Seattle never had a shot at Michael Penix.
no?
We talked about Seattle maybe getting Michael Penix in the second round.
Yeah.
Michael Penix went 8.
Yep.
In case you forgot.
Yep.
Number 8 to the Falcons. And they didn't tell Kirk Cousins. And they just gave him a 4-year contract.
Yep.
Now there's a clear out in Kirk Cousins' contract after year 2. A very clear, clean separate, very little dead money, all that stuff. Seems very, very obvious that's what the plan is. And yeah, I gotta say, shout out to the Falcons. They hand him the 4-year deal to land him, and they probably knew all along what the plan here was.
Yeah.
And maybe they don't tell Kirk, because maybe Kirk doesn't come.
Yeah.
So hey, NFL teams ruthless, man.
Especially we're talking about a division that's bad. It's a bad division you can win now. We're talking about the Bucs who made the playoffs in a bad division. The Saints who aren't very good, who just made their selection, but they're probably not going to be very, very good next year as well. Being stuck with Derek Carr, and then you have the Falcons who are incredibly talented, and then you have the Panthers, who we won't see select until the second round, top of the second, which is I think was where the Xavier Worthy conversation should start, but apparently won't. Seattle is on the clock right now.
You see Rossini's tweet?
Mm.
The Falcons called Kirk Cousins when they were on the clock to let him know. From what I learned, Cousins understood a QB would be considered in this draft, but he did not believe his successor would be taken in the first round, and I'm told that he's absolutely stunned.
Yeah, you have to be. Offensive players, 14. Again, historic. So, Seattle's on the clock now. Fatanu's on the board, which could end up turning into a guard pick, but he's a tackle, right? Depending on what you want to do there. I think this could be a prime trade down place. I think that we are still looking at maybe an edge rusher because they did lose. They lost somebody in free agency. I thought, or they could add to their edge rusher room definitely. You know what could be a sleeper pick here? A wide receiver.
Well, the pick is in.
So, a Brian Thomas and Xavier Worthy are still sitting there. A.D. Mitchell still sitting there as well, which he sounds like he's sliding. I'm not sure what the reason for that is, but those guys are still sitting. So, I don't know, man. The wide receiver conversation, I think, could be very real.
Latu went to Jesuit, by the way.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
It's really rude of them to cut to commercial when the pick is in.
Where do you think Seattle goes here?
Seattle needs everything.
Yeah.
They need everything except for a corner. Really, they're kind of set at corner with Witherspoon, and although what's his face was getting played off the field last year a lot. Like they benched him a couple of times. So what's his name? Their other corner they took the year before Witherspoon.
Yes.
I wonder if I'll ever get better with these names. I'll tell you what year they were drafted. I'll tell you everything, but God forbid I have to know their name. So you basically have your pick of whatever defensive player you want here, or you can go one of the last remaining top flight tackles. I think they're going to go defense. You have to try to limit the scoring somehow. Geno Smith's not going to be able to go out there in a shootout against the 49ers. He's not going to go out there in a shootout against, Kyler Murray, completely healthy, James Conner, Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride. You got to limit some of that. If you want to stay competitive with Geno Smith as your QB.
Tariq Woolen. My dad just put it in the chat.
Shout out to your dad, Tariq Woolen. Yeah, he got played off the field a couple times last year. I really think it's defense here. I think you got to do something to hold offenses down so Geno Smith can compete.
Okay, then two names.
You just saw that there. 4,200 passing yards in 2022 and only 3,100 last year.
So, two names. I have two. One, Cooper DeJean.
Oh, God, I would hate that.
Two, Jared Verse.
I think it's Jared Verse.
Yeah, which means
Now,
Dallas
if I was
drops.
Seattle, I would take Cooper DeJean. Just throwing that out there.
DeJean is who you thought you were getting when you traded for Jamal Adams.
And that's the thing about it is when you have a Devon Witherspoon, when you have Tariq Woolen, your safety just got cut.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You can put Cooper DeJean all over the place.
Yeah.
And I think you need an impact player. As you see, they took Jackson Smith and Jigba last year.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about him.
Didn't play him a ton in the beginning. Charles Cross, good player. They got a tackle there.
Yep. I forgot about the other tackle too they have, who's pretty good.
So
Abraham or whatever it is.
I think that man, this Falcons news is really exciting that they didn't even tell this dude. This is the problem with not telling Kirk, bro. This isn't, hey, if Jaden falls, we're going to take him. You knew you could get Penix at 8. Why would you not tell Kirk?
Yeah.
They've been on clock so long that the Jaguars been on the clock for 4 minutes.
Okay.
They must have like a celebrity announcer here or something.
Direct your attention to the main stage video screens for a special message from United States service members.
They do.
Forward station that is
So Jacksonville's on the clock too. You already know what it is.
I just saw, yeah. And I'm got to tell you, I'm not fucking excited at all.
Jacksonville's on the clock too. And they have to be pretty stoked because they have a Mr. Brian Thomas Jr. on the board right now.
You take him or you go A.D. Mitchell?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I'm going AD.
Are you still taking A.D. Mitchell if he falls to 24?
Yeah, I would want to. He just hasn't, and he was part of our visits too. It was possible, So I have this special presentation for Seattle.
I don't know. The pick has been in for 5 minutes, and
all right, as Roger Goodell is at the podium.
Thank you to our men and women who serve in the United States military. Your sacrifices to defend our country's freedom do not go unnoticed. Thank you so much. With the 16th pick
In the 2024 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Byron Murphy,
Oh,
defensive tackle, Texas.
I forgot Byron Murphy was still on the board.
It's arrived.
Yeah. Shit. Aaron Donald leaves the Rams, and then you get a defensive tackle, another defensive tackle who comes in, and it's potentially that same type of game wrecker.
We really thought that Byron Murphy might go to the Rams.
Yeah.
With the big hole. Now I will tell you this: it sounds like the Jacksonville Jaguars have traded out,
Okay.
and it sounds like the Minnesota Vikings have traded in.
Okay. So real quick, let's touch on Byron Murphy first. For the people who don't know about Byron Murphy, DT1, very comfortably in my eyes. Run stopping, pass rush. You have a guy who's playing interior defensive line who has his moves and his counter moves down pretty sound. Potentially a guy who should have gone a lot earlier than this.
Yeah, this is one of those things where when you watch Byron Murphy on tape, you understand why he's a highly touted prospect, as opposed to when you turn on like the Jerzon Newton tape and you're kind of searching for what's the hype on this guy. When
Yeah.
you turn on Murphy tape, you know 100. Holy smokes! Minnesota moves up and the pick is in. That was freaking quick. Leonard Williams, Boymoff,
Boyamafe.
and the Minnesota Vikings. Let's see if I can find the draft pick compensation.
Okay. Minnesota trades up to 17. Who is Minnesota coming to grab? Who's on the board? A corner? Dallas Turner. Oh, it's right there. So fifth, next year's third, and next year's fourth to come move up. Who are they getting here?
The Jaguars obviously felt very good about the wide receiver or tackle they want here, being able to get him 6 spots from now, which means they obviously weren't in love with Brian Thomas.
Yeah, which is potential. Cincinnati's probably not going to take him. The Rams probably not. Pittsburgh likes to take wide receivers in the second. Miami's been linked to Xavier Worthy for the first, crazy enough. Philly probably not because they just paid A.J. Brown. They have Devonta Smith and then Jacksonville. So the pick is in right now. Who are they picking? Has to be defense, right? This is Dallas Turner or Quinyon Mitchell?
No. Yeah, Dallas Turner or Jared Verse.
I trust you.
With the 17th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Dallas Turner.
Yep.
Now, this is a player. That's a nice suit he's got going on. I like the mint shit. Dallas Turner was a player that almost everybody and their mother had mocked to number 8 about 107 different times.
Yeah.
We even mocked him to 8 at one point just because we thought that was conventional wisdom on what everyone was thinking, even though we weren't quite on board. I still don't know if Dallas Turner should come off the board before Jared Verse does, but he's obviously a different type of edge rusher. So
With a ton of potential.
and getting him right here at 17, I love the value for a player that everybody thought would be a top 10 pick.
Absolutely. We're not talking about an edge like Dallas Turner was talked about like how every other edge one is talked about year after year after year, right? This is a can't miss prospect. This guy comes in, he's a game wrecker. Dallas Turner is a guy who needs to develop still. This is a guy who doesn't have a lot of pass rushing moves. He has length and he has athleticism. And he's clearly not happy about still sitting in the green room until pick 17.
No, he doesn't look like he's very thrilled.
So, sorry, dude, but that's the reality. Yeah.
I don't love. That was interesting. I don't love when you play for Bama's stacked defense being 10th in the nation in sacks. Not a super gaudy And I know there's a lot to be made of QB pressures, QB hurries, hits, things
Yeah.
like that. But sacks obviously are what gets you paid, and he wasn't a huge sack guy at Alabama. So
Yep. So Cincinnati's on the clock currently. Tackle.
Well, I think if they go wide receiver here, then something's cooking for T. Higgins.
Yeah. So Fatanu for offensive tackle, which he's still sitting here. And I feel like I'm missing another tackle that's sitting here, but I actually don't think I am. Mims. Yeah. Marvin Mims.
Marvin Mims.
Nice.
Okay,
Marvin Mims.
okay.
Amarius Mims. And we have Mr. Troy Fatanu as well. So offensive line is probably the most important thing to protect Joe Burrow. Obviously, you have your offensive weapons, you have your offensive talent. I wouldn't be surprised if this is Mims.
Me neither. Seems about right. I just at this point where you're at, we don't have a corner off the board yet, and we thought 5 or 6 might go in the first.
Yep.
So
Philly has to be getting excited.
They're not taking a corner in the first round. Come on, bro.
I know.
I saw that mock draft earlier. They were taking Nate Wiggins, and I was just like, please somebody give me clips of Nate Wiggins lining up against CeeDee Lamb twice a year, because goodness gracious, talk about that's like
Bullied.
Yeah, that's like Dylan trying to guard me in the post.
Jaden Daniels says you were the best player he had to face in college football this season. What do those Vikings fans right over there who've been chanting at you? What do they need to know about the skill of
So the people who are available right now, corners. Corners probably don't go to the Rams, right? They signed a bunch and they look pretty stacked there at that point.
I really think the Rams are going to take a guard.
Fuck you. Shut the fuck up. Fucking bitch. Pittsburgh is a big consideration.
Yes.
As it goes away. Jacksonville needs corner.
They do.
So, Philly needs corner. I mean, we have all the corners on the board still, and we're almost in the 20s.
And hopefully they fall a little bit more.
I know you like that.
Oh, man.
This is a good class to need corners.
Oh, man. If we get Kool-Aid at 31, I mean, that dude ran a 4 what? What, a Jones fracture in his foot?
Mm-hmm. A 4.42.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, man. A lot of players falling right now. So another guy on the board, Drazon Newton, still sitting there too.
Hard pass.
So he's supposed to go pretty relatively early as I check my rankings, my wide receiver rankings, or not my wide receiver rankings, my total rankings. A.D. Mitchell, Brian Thomas are still sitting here along with Xavier Worthy. Another tight end won't be taken in the first round. Running back probably not in the first round. Offensive tackles, Amarius Mims and Troy Fatanu are still sitting here along with Tyler Guyton, Graham Barton, and even Jordan Morgan, even whispers to Kingsley Sumatia, all still sitting here. Yes, all that tackle talent still here. Interior offensive linemen, Jackson Powers Johnson and Zach Frazier have potential to go in the first, and they're still sitting here. Kool-Aid, Quinion, Terrion, Cooper, Nate, Ennis Rakeshaw, TJ Tampa, these guys, all that were touted as maybe first-round picks are still sitting here. Who pulls the trigger first to go for the corner, and then a massive corner runs happens?
I don't think it's going to be here. I think that while the Bengals are still on the clock, I think you called it about 7 minutes ago. I really think they're going to go tackle. I think Graham Barton is interesting here.
Yeah.
If I'm picking, I mean, it should probably be Amarius Mims. But if I'm picking and I'm looking at Jackson Powers Johnson and I'm looking at Graham Barton, I feel like I want to take Graham Barton because I want to take the guy that's a little more versatile.
Oh, yeah.
I want to take the guy that can fit in. Maybe you can kick him out to tackle in a pinch, and he's going to play both guard positions and the center position. It's just the value in the late round first round to get a player that can start at multiple positions on the offensive line, especially since now obviously these teams that brought JPJ in are going to be confident with his testing and everything, but he refused to test at the combine, and there's a reason for that. And we've enjoyed the Zen YouTube TV, so please bring us back to the draft.
Oh, wait.
You better run.
They're going to scroll down and accidentally show us the Bengals pick already.
That would be funny.
Ah, damn it. Rams on the clock currently. Interior defensive lineman,
For the Rams,
potentially.
you think they go Newton?
I think it's a big possibility.
I think they're going to go Verse.
If the Rams like anything, what's like the most Sean McVay thing? It's like, I feel like I like the fast guy and go, fuck it, I want Xavier Worthy.
Yeah,
And it's like, hey, Sean McVay,
but you got
You have-
Cooper Cup, you
you
got
have-
Puka
you
Nacua.
have Van Jefferson at home.
Yeah,
I think he's actually with the Pittsburgh now, but Tutu Atwell. Yeah, Tutu Atwell over there, so
I don't know how you can justify taking a first round pick like that, spending it on a wide receiver when you found a guy like Puka Nacua in the 5th round last year.
yeah. Yep.
Trenches to me. We look at their needs: offensive tackle, defensive tackle. So we look at the defensive.
And they lost DJ Reader
Love that guy.
and Jonah Williams. So, all right, Roger Goodell making his way up to the podium as we speak.
Chidobe.
They just say fucking go corner. They just go Quinion.
No, I think you called this 9 minutes ago, and they're going to stick to what you said.
In the 2024 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Amarius Mims.
Yep.
Tackle, Georgia.
All right, so listen. Jerry Jones, pick up the fucking phone and move up to grab Troy Fautanu. You said today, if there's a top tackle left on the board, you would move up to go grab him. And we had a top 30 visit with this guy. There was a lot of tackles that we took top 30 visits with. He's one of them. Go get him now.
Well, I just like to say shit on my radio show every week, and then I don't actually do it. But the thing about it is I own the fucking team, and you can't do anything about it. So I'm just going to keep saying we're all in, and I really like Zeke. We're going to bring him back, and we're also going to, we're going to bring everybody back because we're going all in this year.
Oh, man. Rams on the clock. So Marius Mims off the board.
Now here, Rams are not taking tackle.
Don't think so, no.
As much as I say they're going to take a guard.
Yeah, fuck off.
If they take Zach Frazier here, I'm gonna dance all over this. Look at that dude. That's a big
Massive.
ass man.
Huge. I've said it once. I'll say it. 6'7" 3/4.
How many hats do you think they just got sitting there?
340 pounds.
Under no circumstance. I mean, I know offensive tackle isn't super sexy. You can't be upset about this pick at 18 if you're the Bengals.
No, you're protecting Joe Burrow, right? That's I feel like what Bengals fans are clamoring for. They need to protect Joe.
And this is a sneaky like legacy season for Joey B. You know what I mean? Like you like everybody wants to anoint you and everybody wants to talk about how you're one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. I mean, frankly, right now you got Patrick Mahomes, and then who's the second best quarterback in the league? Because Joe Burrow right now is not even top 5. He can't stay healthy.
Yeah. Man, what do the Rams do here? I think Versus is a good option.
I think Verse or Newton. I think we're going to see that here. We're going to see.
You have a very, very young defensive line with Kobe Turner,
Rest in peace.
and who's their other young guy that they have out there? Oh, Byron Young. And Aaron Donald retires, and you bring in a Jerzon Newton, who's just kind of sound, and Rams are actually on the clock. That's
It's
pretty
been
good.
84 years. Shout out to Rams fans. You guys finally have a first-round pick. Shout out to 49ers. You guys finally have a first-round pick.
Yep. I don't think there's because this almost has to be first. Yeah, it's one of those two guys. I can't see them doing anything insane, right? Unless they just go out of left field and again pick Xavier Worthy. Everybody's picking Xavier Worthy.
Do you remember when Michael Penix went 8?
Yeah. Remember when they didn't tell Kirk Cousins?
Remember when we were live on YouTube and I ate chicken wings?
What are you talking about?
When the hell did the Rams sign Jimmy Garoppolo?
When he got cut.
Shout out to Jacob. He's talking to me about how Carolina Panthers need an edge rusher, with completely forgetting about the fact that they signed. I don't think he's here anymore.
What?
Oh, I was talking about how you said the Carolina Panthers need an edge rusher when you forgot they signed Jadeveon Clowney.
Oh, yeah, I did.
The Minnesota Vikings only have 3 picks in the 2025 NFL draft, a first and 2 fifths.
Ooh. I don't like that for him.
And they got J.J. McCarthy, who's like the vanilla ice cream of this quarterback class, and they got Dallas Turner, who's like could be a guy or could be Tyree Wilson.
I would argue that Bo Nix is a bit of ice cream in this class.
I just love that we keep nailing this. And not like, hey, we're looking to see what they're drafting, and then we're talking about it like they're doing on NFL Network. Like, they find out what the pick is, and then they're like, I really think that this is who they should take there. And then they act like they're geniuses. We just keep talking about premier defensive talent that the Rams need to take. And to be clear, we said Newton or Jared Verse.
Yep.
Still no corners.
Still no corners.
We might see corners go 3, 4, 5 picks in a row.
Ooh, Pitt, Miami.
Pittsburgh's next, right?
Yeah. Philly, Jacksonville. That's a lot of picks we've taken corners. As the commissioner makes his way up the to the podium.
I really think that the corner run starts
Next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cooper DeJean just seems like a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. So Jared Verse to the LA Rams.
Number 2, edge rusher for us.
Yep. So if you don't know about Jared Verse, we're talking about power speed, right? Dude gets his hands in your chest and you're getting pushed backwards. Look at bro's arms. Sure, he fills out that flannel. I mean, he's getting Will Anderson Jr. It's crazy.
What about 6'3" and 7/8? Can we just give the man 6'4"?
I don't like to. I know. But yeah, if you're watching on NFL Network right now, you're looking at him. He's just taking guys. Gosh, bro.
He just sacked the quarterback with a tackle.
Yep.
That's wild.
Power speed.
Powerful, powerful man.
His first step is incredibly quick, and then he goes and look at that first step. Oh, perfect. No, Drew, he seems like a cowboy. Oh, Dad, perfect. Jared Verse, to me, I've already said this to Drew, Jared Verse is DeMarcus Lawrence. He's going to have a productive, handful of double-digit sack years and then be incredibly helpful in the run.
Because I said Cooper
clutch.
DeJean sounds like a Steeler.
Yeah. Yeah, so Jared Verse is like DeMarcus Lawrence.
Well, so realistically, we know the Cowboys, outside of maybe Cooper DeJean, we know the Cowboys aren't going traditional corner. I mean, you got Trevon Diggs, who you paid, coming back from injury, and you got Deron Bland, who, regardless of the massive amount of yards he gave up in the back half of last year, still led the league in pick six, set a record. The tackle's still sitting there.
Yes.
You starting to get nervous?
I want it. Corner. Let's see the corner run. I want to see the corner run. If the corner run happens, the tackle's sitting there. And then we're going to go and we're going to pick fucking JPJ, even though it's a really good center class, and we can get a starting center in the third or the fourth. Or I guess not the fourth, because we don't have a fourth. I wonder what happened to that. Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! I already said it!
Now's a good time to remind you guys that Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Mac Jones, and Zach Wilson, the QB class of 2021, have all been traded, and Trey Lance went for the highest amount of compensation out of any of those quarterbacks, thanks to Jerry Jones.
Oh my gosh. I do miss pasta.
What is if he has another year? What's Trevor Lawrence worth?
A third?
Yeah, I was thinking second and a fourth.
Hmm.
I think we'd have to go back to what Jared Goff was traded for, but he was traded for Matt Stafford. So
Yeah, it's kind of weird compensation. So best fit for, as much as we say Quinyon, right? Quinyon's the number one corner in this class. I mean, Terrion Arnold's probably the better fit. Did you see it? Fuck.
Well, assuming
As Drew TV votes.
Cool. I was about to say, I pay for the most expensive Wi-Fi you can get. Not only is it fiber, that TV is hard routed into the router. So if we're having internet situation problems, it's because the internet's out, like at the AT&T levels. Casa de la Taylor don't have no Wi-Fi issues. I promise you that. So now if the Steelers break your heart here,
All right.
and they take your boy,
Mm-hmm.
are you all aboard the Jackson Powers Johnson train for the Cowboys?
Still no. It's probably the likely pick, but I just don't want it.
So who would you go with then at 24?
I'd trade down.
What if DeJean is there?
I'd go there.
So you're sitting at 24. There's no tackle on the board. You're not taking A.D. Mitchell.
I'd trade down. Green Bay's not going to take him. I don't think Tampa's going to take him. Arizona, I don't think is going to take him. So if one of those couple of guys wants to move up a spot or two and give us a fourth,
What if Arizona doubles up on the wide
that'd be
receivers?
fucking insane.
Imagine if they got A.D. Mitchell.
I don't,
Brian Thomas.
Oh, yeah. Brian Thomas is still sitting there. Holy shit.
You know, the worst part about being a player watching your draft stock slip, it's not just the embarrassment of being all dressed up and fitted, looking nice in the green room. It's also the shitty feeling of, okay, I was making $56 million. Now I'm at 47. Now I'm at 41. Now I'm at 39.
Yeah.
Now I'm at 33. Because frankly, for some of these first round picks, it happens every year. This will be the biggest payday they ever get.
Yeah.
They won't sign the extension.
Yep.
I really hope if you guys take Jackson Powers Johnson or you take like Zach Frazier, I'm just gonna get a big old fat laugh going.
Yeah.
Don't they need a wide receiver?
Who?
The Steelers.
Yeah.
I mean, Pickens is like a dude, kind of, I guess.
A deep threat.
You know.
So Miami's on the clock, and two speedsters are sitting there.
Yeah, they got a lot of speed already, though.
They're being linked to Xavier Worthy.
Don't you think the Miami Dolphins would love to pair somebody up with Jalen though? Jalen Ramsey.
Oh, yeah. Every single corner still sitting here.
Arnold, Mitchell. They got Robinson up there because he's there, but I don't think that he's going to be the. Oh, that's Chop, obviously.
Yeah, Chop.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I think Chop's going to be the first Robinson off the board.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited to see if the Bucks pull the trigger on Chop because I've been seeing that.
It would suck for the Bucks because they've already taken a bunch of guys who are high motor pass rushers who can't get in the backfield on the run.
Did the Cowboys pick up the phone here to try to move to 20, you think?
I don't even think I want to know. All we're gonna hear after this is always our guy, whoever it is. Or we take Jonathan Brooks,
Imagine if you took him in the first.
or Edgerrin Cooper.
I hope so. I'll never stop talking about that.
32 young men embark on their NFL career, striving to make an impact on the field.
Who is that?
Is that Villa, whatever his name, the old tackle?
But in their community,
Kind of looks like him.
He looks like a current
no
Steeler.
one embodied that more than Walter Payton. And today, the league's highest honor, the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, recognizes his lasting legacy. Tonight, we are proud to welcome the 2023 Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year winner, Cam Hayward.
Oh, can't think.
Oh, duh. It's Cam Hayward. Okay.
I was like, I don't.
I'm surprised it's not in the chat. It's Cam Hayward, you idiots.
First of all, I want to say thank you, Commissioner. And most importantly, I want to say thank you to the Payton family, the NFL,
I'd love to give me some Cam Hayward.
the NFL draft discussion. To my fellow NFL players and the prospects joining the league this week, I want to challenge you. Use your platform to write someone's death. The opportunity before you is a gift.
Man, they're really lagging with these picks.
And being in this league, seize that moment. Be better in our communities, be better for our league, be in our world. Thank you so much.
We're listening to Cam Hayward do some pre-typed out speech before he announces the pick.
And with the 20th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Troy Fautanu, tackle, Washington. There you go.
Now they got themselves a tackle for the second year in a row. Broderick Jones last year
Yep.
out of Georgia. Here they go to Washington.
They gotta protect their franchise quarterback in Justin Fields.
Listen, so close, but yet so far away. What can I say?
Yep. Well, what did I say? Hey, the Rams are on the clock. You should probably call them up and fucking yell at them. But hey, still no corners off the board. That's another one. You're looking and you're saying, is this where it is?
Well,
Miami.
Corners and wide receivers here, I think, is
Yeah, Bijan, nice. Brian Thomas.
oof, look at that throw. That's your number 8 overall pick there, Michael Penix.
It is.
Years to throw. Look at this. Years to throw. Look at that left tackle.
Hey, and honestly, he went to the right place to go to because that Atlanta offensive line is really, really, really good. And he's a pocket passer.
Yeah, because he definitely has kind of shown that he may or may not hold up under the – I shouldn't say hold up. We're not talking about season-ending injuries, but, man, he gets banged up.
Yeah, he definitely does. Disappointing there. Troy felt like a guy that could have been a Cowboy.
Life as a Cowboys fan.
Yep, unfortunately.
Who else did you guys have in on a top 30 visit besides JPJ?
A.D. Mitchell.
Oof, if you guys take wide receiver, especially since, CD gets so many targets.
Looking up the top 30 visits. Edgerrin Cooper is a guy that we've done. Jonathan Brooks, Peyton Willis, Byron Murphy, Troy Fautanu, Talisi Fuanga, JPJ, Junior Colson, Darius Robinson we did our homework on. Graham Barton we did our homework on. For the Cowboys here, this to me, I want Graham Barton at this point because of the positional flexibility to play tackle, center, and guard. So he could do it all, and that's what I would like. I really don't want the JPJ thing. It's just a deep tackle class. Or sorry, excuse me, a deep center class, and you could go elsewhere and still get a good center. This is just a little disappointing. I really wanted Fatanu, and don't rule out the wide receiver, because I think that it could be in play. And same thing with Miami here with the wide receivers.
Just go to your membership settings to add it today or try it for free.
All corners still on the board. All interior offensive linemen still on the board. All safeties, linebackers still on the board.
It's raining outside.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to rain today.
Yep, it's just raining. It's pouring on Cowboys fans' hopes and dreams.
It's 50% chance for rain tomorrow, too.
Did I miss any good hard-cutting Cowboys fans' tears?
None that you'll see.
All right, so who's up?
Miami's up right now.
Miami's up.
Yep.
And we think Miami's going speed.
That or Graham Barton. They need a center. JPJ, they need a center. Jerzon Newton, they need an interior defensive lineman. They need to recoup what they've lost in those two guys, between their center and defensive tackle. Corners are still sitting there on the board, too.
Pick is in. Another thing that did not happen is Brandon Ayuk didn't go to the Steelers for pick 20.
That's true.
Although I got to tell you, man, if we dealt Brandon Ayuk for old tackle here and then still had our pick for one of those wide receivers, that could have been something I'd have been. The problem is, though, I got to tell you, if you're going to trade away Brock Purdy's guy, if you're going to trade his number one guy away, you better be blown away.
Yeah. And clearly they weren't comfortable with it, or the offer just wasn't good enough. Pick is in, so Philly is on the clock too. So I think with this pick with Miami, even with the corners all still on the board, I think this is probably center or defensive tackle. And with Philly, I think this is probably corner, even though they don't take corner in the first round. I don't see them taking another. I don't see them. Marius Mims was heavily linked to them, and any tackle that they could maybe get their hands on. But I just don't see it right now. They need linebacker help, but a linebacker is not going to go in the first round. They need corner help, and that could definitely happen. Edge rusher stuff could happen too. Oh, God.
You know what that is? For the chat, you know what this is? This is Drew Taylor patting himself on the back.
Well, we just saw the best available up there. Two corners, Terry Earl and Quinton Mitchell. You got the receiver, Brian Thomas. You got the edge rusher, and Chop Robinson. CD, what's the biggest need?
The biggest need is edge rusher, guys. Jalen Phillips who killed his midseason last year.
All right, let's get the pick, yo.
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing.
Let's get the pick, yo. I got to do my slaps on the back some more so people aren't getting. I got to tell you, I'm very excited about this. Mostly because I was all over this guy. This is even higher than I predicted. But
Just chop? Are they going choppy? What the fuck?
I love how I only have to give you a little
Holy
nugget.
shit.
In the 2024 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Chop
Wow.
Robinson, linebacker,
Yeah?
Penn State.
Hey, they lost both of their edge rushers at the end of the season.
Chop Robinson gets paid. This is easily 20 to 25 picks higher than where he debuted, 3 or 4 months ago in the mock draft. Obviously one of those players where his performance at the combine rocketed him up draft boards, and explosive and raw. That's a great way to define Chop Robinson.
He's Shishimi.
Yeah. but 6'2", 250 and explosive, massive and explosive. Sign me up for this all day of the week. And here's some more great news. The corners continue to fall.
Yep, absolutely.
Now, we're 10 picks away from the 49ers. And you have to imagine that Graham Barton and Jackson Power-Johnson and Tyler Guyton go here in the next 10. That leaves 7 other picks, assuming everybody stays chalk. And there's 6 corners.
And there's 2 wide receivers, 3 wide receivers.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so excited for all these players to be on the board and for the Cowboys to say Zach Frazier.
Shut the fuck up.
So excited.
Fucking stupid. Yeah, again, Chop makes a lot of sense here with them losing both of their edge rushers at the end of the year. And on top of that, Van Ginkel losing him in free agency when he stepped up big time later on in the playoffs. So this is huge. Explosive guy. Yes, he's raw. I don't think it's as raw as people really say. He does have moves. Yeah, his bend is incredible. He just needs to develop some. This is a guy you're not going to see a lot of backfield production for against the run, but you're going to see him a lot in the backfield for. You're going to see him a lot in the backfield for quarterbacks. And Philly is on the clock here. All the corners are still sitting here. Interior offensive linemen all still sitting here. Jazon Newton, interior defensive lineman, still sitting here. Darius Robinson, edge rusher, still sitting here. There's a lot of guys still here. 3 wide receivers potentially in the first round. As they make the joke, though, which Georgia Bulldog is he talking to right there? Unfortunately for them, there's not a Georgia Bulldog here in the first to take for them.
What about Chop Robinson, bro? What about Michael Penix, bro? You trade Hassan Reddick, you add Chop Robinson.
Well, that's wrong with the team, but yes.
I just read that. So.
I know.
The Eagles trade Hassan Reddick, and the Miami Dolphins add Chop Robinson. Suck it.
Can we see Darius Robinson?
I hope not, unless you saw it already.
No.
Whoa. Cooper DeJean's going to be there. A.D. Mitchell's going to be there.
This might be the biggest heartbreak my dad's felt when we don't select Cooper DeJean.
If he's there, though, don't you think it has to be Graham Barton?
Probably.
Like, if Graham Barton's there, how do you take JPJ?
I don't want JPJ like that. Pick his end for Philly.
If the 49ers get Cooper DeJean, I'm getting your dad a Cooper DeJean 49ers jersey.
That's pretty good. Tell you what, Jacksonville trading down, getting all those picks, and still have their pick of the litter with wide receivers is
it's a great move.
They got to feel pretty damn good about that. All right, what's the pick here for Philly?
I think they are going to break their streak of not drafting corners, and I think they're going to take a corner.
Quinyon, Terrion, Cooper, Nate Wiggins.
I would guess it'd be Quinyon.
Or do they like the big school stuff because they always pick big school shit and they go with Terrion?
It must be something because ain't nobody got it. The Rams have only drafted Jareds in the first round since 2015. Jared Goff and Jared Verse.
They haven't really had any picks, so. Oh man, only 2 first-round trades, and both of them have been the Minnesota Vikings. Good for them, man.
The Vikings?
Yeah.
I guess, man. JJ McCarthy and Dallas Turner, neither of those players are like.
Think they got too nervous about the competition in the division?
I'm still thinking about Caleb Williams and Roma Dunze.
Yeah.
And Michael Penix at 8.
Yep.
Latu, the first edge rusher off the board. Besides the Michael Penix thing, though, we really haven't had anything too crazy.
No.
You know, Bowers going where he went isn't crazy. It's just the fact that the Raiders were the team that took him because they took a tight end last year.
Yeah. All right.
And getting to the 22nd pick before the first corner comes off the board for a team that hasn't drafted corner in the first round in, what was it, 15 years or 12 years or something like that? Now, I do think they go chalk here and they pick the best corner. The guy was, you know, it's been Quinion this entire time. The NFL has gone global. Thank you, Roger. The best commissioner in sports history. Thank you, Roger. Roger Goodell.
On a global basis soon. The NFL's International Player Pathway Program helps foreign-born players reach the NFL. Elite international athletes have an opportunity to compete.
You think he would practice what the hell he was going to say before he came up there?
One of the most successful players from the program is the Philadelphia Eagles, Jordan Mailata. Jordan is currently in his native Australia for the opening of a new NFL academy.
No, don't look at it. Don't look at it. No, don't look at it.
To make the Eagles selection, let's join Jordan live from the Eagles draft party in Burleigh Beach, Gold Coast, Australia. Take it, Jordan.
Let's go. How good is this? Thank you, Uncle Roger. Good evening to those of you from the beautiful land down under. With the 22nd pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Quinion Mitchell.
Yeah.
Defensive back
Okay.
leader.
That was pretty cool. That was. I mean,
Thanks, Uncle Roger.
Australia, man. Like, it's raining in California. Send me to Australia.
That sucks. That really fucking sucks. So let's just take a quick view. So
He doesn't look thrilled about dropping either, does he?
no, he doesn't. Quinion is the second corner on my board. Could easily be the first. Incredibly talented. We're talking about a man-to-man corner who has things to work on in zone because he doesn't feel super comfortable. But what he does to make up for it is his stupid speed. You know, he ran, a 4.3 something.
Super fast.
So fluid hips, super fast. The uncomfortableness that he feels in zone, he makes up with by being able to turn and run with other guys that he probably shouldn't be able to run with, but he does. Lengthy, really good RAS scores. And it sucks because I don't want to face this guy twice a year.
I love how pissed he is.
Hey, he's a good player. He's a really good player.
Use this as motivation, man.
Yep.
Although, you really can't be mad you're the fourth defensive player off the board.
Yeah. Jacksonville. Carry on Arnold. Xavier Worthy.
Wide receiver for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why they traded back because they knew they were going to get their guy.
Or another corner.
I don't know, man. You got to figure it out with Trevor Lawrence this
You
year.
do, absolutely. I agree.
You have to figure it out with Trevor Lawrence this year.
And you don't want to go into the year with Christian Kirk and Gabe Davis and Zay. Help me out here. Zay.
Flowers?
No.
Jones.
Jones. There we
Yeah.
go.
Oh, Eagles. Yeah, Zay Jones.
Quinn, when you went to college, you told your coaches you wanted to be coached hard. Now you're Toledo's first round pick in 30 years.
Damn.
What did that university give you?
I mean, they gave me a lot of loyalty, a lot of love. Just coming out of high school, I had some great issues. And
You hear
the
that?
whole process.
They just announced. You obviously haven't. But say that Joel Embiid has been fighting Bell's palsy this week. I don't know if you know what Bell's palsy is, but you know who Jim Ross is, the famous commentator from the WWE?
Yeah.
His whole face doesn't work because he has Bell's palsy.
Mhm.
Crazy. Showing love, showing tough love, and just being up for me. I can't think of enough, man. I'm just speechless right now.
Man, so you're going to have essentially your pick
That's awesome.
at corner.
Him as a player,
Mhm.
Your pick at the interior offensive lineman. You got Jackson Power Johnson. You got Graham Barton, Zach Frazier. Tyler Guyton's still there.
Yep.
Every wide, the top 3 wide receivers. So any wide receiver you could have brought in for a workout is going to be available for you guys. Oh, Jacksonville is ready.
Yeah, this has to be Brian Thomas or Terron Arnold.
Now, what do you think? I'm excited for Green Bay.
Fuck Green Bay.
All right, fuck Green Bay.
Yeah, they're a bunch of bitch assholes anyways.
Somebody's still bitter about the NFL playoffs.
I don't even remember that shit. Oh man. Does Brian Thomas feel like kind of a redundancy in Jacksonville?
Say it again.
Does Brian Thomas feel like a redundancy in Jacksonville?
I'm not taking Brian Thomas here.
AD?
Yeah.
I don't know if they will, but you need an alpha receiver. You need an alpha receiver, and that would be him.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it is.
Yeah. Unless they traded back for a corner.
Yeah. I would not have felt comfortable trading back for a corner with all the guys who are in front of him.
The Jacksonville Jaguars were on the clock, 17th overall, but they traded down as Tony Khan becomes the first ever NFL executive.
Oh my gosh, Tony is such a stroke. So that's Tony Khan. He owns AEW,
Okay.
which is like WCW. They're like the other brand that fights against the WWE right now. Well, last night on TV, he took a pile driver, like so he's wearing a neck brace
That's funny.
fake
Yeah.
to further his storyline on TV.
That's pretty good.
That's the stupidest shit I ever seen, I swear.
No, just the phone.
It said Jaguars add to the offense.
Okay. Xavier Worthy.
It's going to be Brian Thomas, right?
Probably. Let's see. Just okay. All right. I'll stay off your phone.
That's probably what they wanted at 17.
Yeah.
So,
Nope. No. You can't. Nope.
come on, bro.
Only for 2 picks. This pick and the pick at 31.
All right, call it. Don't be a hoe.
It's Graham Barton. That's what the pick is. It's Graham Barton. Now, what do I want?
AD.
AD Mitchell, Cooper DeJean.
What if you just take Terrion Arnold?
I wouldn't have to do that.
And what if you just move off of Trayvon Diggs?
Or just keep him and then just move Deron Bland back inside to slot. Once Diggs' contract is up, Terrion's up next.
So much speed, and that offense, it was just beautiful to watch.
And if Diggs doesn't perform well enough, then you have still have Terrion. You know?
And then throw the ball to these. So if you want a shallow cross and expect to go get it, he is slick, smooth, and the tracking skills down the field, that is his secret sauce. They really not only get up to that top speed, but
Like it's killing you. I feel like I'm just gonna go. Yep. Yep.
With all the corner talent, with A.D. Mitchell, if you take JPJ here, it's pretty frustrating. Isn't it?
Yeah, that's the last pick I want.
Is it the last pick you want?
Tyler
So,
Guyton.
so to be clear, oh, you wouldn't want Tyler Guyton. So you're completely happy if it's Jerzon Newton.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. I'm actually really happy if it's Jerzon Newton. Because I'm tired of getting fucked on the run. I'm tired of it.
Well, just you got to play Mozzie Smith more.
Fuck him! God, I'm tired of him already. I'm sure that YouTube could see it, but just in case, Drew's phone is going off over and over and over again. The flash keeps flashing, and I told him not to check it until after the pick. So
you can see it in the.
God, it's a lot of speed on that team.
Frisco, Texas. I told you, Frisco, Texas.
Did you hear what he said?
We're going all in on the draft.
He said we're going all in on this draft pick. Fucking asshole.
Zach Frazier. Xavier Worthy.
That'd be fucking crazy.
Here's the good news: you don't have to worry about them taking corner. And if they were gonna do something crazy and trade Dak, the picks are long gone on when that was gonna happen. So I was a little nervous when the Raiders came up. I was like,
Trust Galvani, the mozzarella experts.
oh boy. The Cowboys are on the clock. The moment we've all been waiting for. What did I do?
I don't know. He clicked something.
Oh my God! What if we skipped the Cowboys pick? I don't want to take a survey. Who's it gonna be, man? Call it.
Probably Graham Barton. It's probably Graham. Why keeps doing that? Damn.
Hey, it's Sam Johnston. Hi, it's Maximilian Kilman. Hey, it's Jason Brown. Watch
What about you? What do you think?
on NBC Sports 4K in Ultra.
I think it's gonna be Jackson Powers Johnson, man. I did a lot of research on the whole. You guys don't draft people that don't come in for visits, and what's the pick that you would absolutely hate? Jackson Powers Johnson.
Yeah. Because the center class is deep. It's they're starters. Genuine starters in like the third. Or go up into the fourth. Shut up.
You haven't even made the pick yet. You seem slightly depressed.
Yeah.
It's almost as if as a Cowboys fan, you know they're going to fuck this up.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid McKinstry.
I love Kool-Aid.
Wow, Cowboys are taking it down. You guys didn't have a first-round pick in 2019?
Amari Cooper.
No, that didn't work out.
Oh, it did. For a little bit. And
What
then
if it's Edgerrin Cooper?
way too early?
Oh,
man.
I hope it is, bro. I hope it is. What if you guys skip your pick?
Now, that would be a Cowboys thing to do.
The Oddish. That was the one right there. They cut back to the Cowboys draft room, and Jerry Jones and Steven are like choking each other out.
They can't decide.
Oh, let's go! Detroit is on the clock. What pick did Detroit have? 30-something?
28, 29
Now, is it just draft compensation, or did y'all get a player?
draft comp. We got a fourth back. We got a fourth back.
You got the Trey Lance fourth?
Yeah, we got the Trey Lance fourth. Who is it?
Trading their pick to the Lions, the home team that was drafting 29th overall, which is
New corner.
It's definitely corner.
Oh,
Absolutely.
bro, they just wait and they just get Terry on?
Yeah.
That's fucking
they're already star-studded and stud-filled roster. They have now moved
But you know they're not making it back to the playoffs.
spots.
Who do you think? Well, they've done a ton of work on corners. When I talk around to a lot of the college coaches,
Unless they just-
who's done the most work at certain positions, the corner position, they said the Lions have been doing all kinds of homework on these guys. That is a need. I have that as the top need, and we only have one off the board at this point in time.
They used the third-round pick, number 73.
Oh, we got a third, a late third. Okay, cool.
Hawkinson swap with Minnesota.
That's a mid third.
No, I was gonna say actually that's
That's
a good third.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, I like that. You know what? Whatever we do at this point, I'm okay with because I needed something like that.
that's your Trey.
Trey who? Trey, shut the fuck up.
No, the running back, you fuck.
Oh, Trey Benson.
That's the Trey Benson.
Oh, I hope so.
Trey who? Trey who? Trey who? I'll go get my Trey Lance jersey. I got one.
Hope they go Cooper instead,
Oh, I hope so. Just to piss your dad off.
or they jump in front of Green Bay to go grab Cooper because they know that they would.
Cooper makes a lot of sense for Green Bay.
Yeah. They need safety help. They need corner help. Yeah.
I'm flashing my Michigan Nikes that my nephew Jack gave me, and I got my
Carolina's getting dangerously close to having a really solid corner to pair with Jason Horn.
If JC Horn can ever stay healthy.
my guys on the show are like, you got to take it off.
Oh my gosh.
Don't you just display it, and it's gone. It's rubbed off.
I guess I could technically, it's not the Cowboys anymore. I could look, but
So the Lions are about to have this pick. and
They're gonna make the most Lions pick. They're not gonna go what we're expecting.
275,000 fans, many of them underneath these, as you can see, drones spelling out Lions over the city skyline here.
I think it would make a lot of sense for them to get a wide receiver that can catch the ball on 3rd and 4th down.
Yeah.
They are all fired up to hear who is joining the team that made the NFC Championship game.
And thank goodness GM Brad Holmes did not trade out.
Say fuck in. They're just gonna grab Lad McConkey.
What if they got Guyton?
Ugh, moving up for Guyton.
They get up to 24 guys. I mean, for there only to be one corner off the board, that's your number one need. I mean, that is a gift.
And a lot of people mocked it
Tampa Bay didn't get to take Chop.
for them.
Yep. But the other Robinson's up there.
Bro, if AD Mitchell's sitting there for the Cardinals,
But they also need corner help. They need everything.
all right, let's wrap this up, Detroit.
So here comes Roger Goodell.
Like I thought we didn't do special guests until like the second round. What are we doing, bro? Super fucking unnecessary.
I'm honestly surprised that they're not doing like the AT&T pick of number 23.
Yeah.
The Hyundai 24th pick.
Yeah.
And growing football participation at the youth and high school levels. Joining me on stage are girls flag football players representing the first 4 schools that competed in the Michigan Girls Flag High School.
They don't look like girls to me on the ends.
High school football tackle students. These young men and women embody NFL values of respect, integrity,
Something crazy happened. Hey,
There's a lot going on. I can't say anything.
Congratulations on your accomplishments in your academic and football careers. Now to make the
There's a
selection.
21 Savage, JID, and Nardo Wick concert in Concord in like 3 weeks. Kind of already.
The Dallas Cowboys have traded the 24th pick to the Detroit Lions. With the
Terrion?
24th pick in the 2024
Yeah.
NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Terrion Arnold.
Yep. Okay.
You know they had to take corner because their bro got arrested.
Talk about a guy that was supposed to go a hell of a lot earlier, and 24 doesn't feel right for him. Uber talented. I maybe it's the 4.5 40 that maybe turned people off of it, off of him a little bit. Terrion's a true outside. He's a true shutdown island corner. The only problem is with Terrion that I saw is okay.
An NBA thing, so go ahead.
The only thing I saw with Terrion is he gets beat a lot underneath drag routes. Routes a lot. He gets beat. Some people actually talk about maybe moving him into the slot and he'd be super effective. They see him as maybe an all-pro slot guy, a good outside corner, but all-pro slot. So I'm curious to see how Terrion is going to feel about maybe playing inside potentially after being an outside corner for so long. His counterpart, Kool-Aid, still on the board.
San Francisco 49er Kool-Aid.
Green Bay is on the clock currently. This is expected to be Cooper.
What a neat moment for him.
Edgerrin Cooper, obviously.
Longer wait than he probably thought, but it's paid off.
I'd be a little nervous if I were you,
Flight anywhere.
Why?
because Dallas moving back, getting dangerously close to linebacker territory.
I swear to fucking God.
Head coach Dan Campbell, Chris Spielman behind the scenes. And they drafted to that
It probably
vision,
is.
played to that vision. And Terrion Arnold fits
Also.
exactly what we're talking about. Remember last year when they moved up for Gibbs at 12, they were criticized. Jack Campbell.
Dallas moving back in the draft like they did
That's what they wanted.
is the only way that they can get close to
And they have the same
NFC Championship game draft compensation.
Shut the fuck up. What the fuck is wrong with you?
So they can't get there by winning into the NFC Championship game, so they just traded back to get NFC draft, NFC Championship game draft compensation.
Didn't came back the next day.
Shut
Now
up.
You guys leave and go, and I don't criticize him for it. It's a big disappointment.
Edgerrin Cooper does feel like a cowboy. It's
Bro,
what's crazy.
But what about the Lions getting Terrion Arnold at 24?
Oh, yeah. No. Okay, so for anyone who's in the chat right now, you want to just real quick go over our mock? So we had
Yeah.
So real quick, right now, as it currently stands, we had Caleb Williams at 1, Drake May at 2, Jaden Daniels at 3, Marvin Harrison Jr. at 4. We also had a trade up for JJ McCarthy at 5, Malik Neighbors at 6, Joel at 7, Dallas Turner at 8. He didn't go until teens. Romo Dunze at 9, Troy Fautanu at 10, which he didn't go until 20. Bo Nix at Talisi Fuanga at 11, which he went a little bit later. Bo Nix at 12. Quinyon Mitchell, who didn't go until what was that, 21, 22?
Yeah.
Olu Fashanu at 14. Terrion Arnold at 15 is what we had. So he dropped 9 spots from our mock. We had Penix at 16. Yep.
I did a good job.
Honestly, I thought the Penix thing was like a reach. I'm like, damn, it feels like we're reaching on Penix. Apparently not. Verse at 17. Latham at 18. Latham jumped up from 18 to 7 for us. We also had Byron Murphy at 19, so not that far off. Brian Thomas at 20. You okay?
Warren Sharpie said, all in my ass. Trying to make fun of the Cowboys for trading back, but he says all in my ass.
I think it was a good move. Graham Barton at 21. Marius Mims at 22. Jerzon Newton at 23. JPJ at 24. Brock Bowers at 25. That's where we're at. So a lot of guys still on the board. A lot of talented young men still on the board.
And Green Bay is on the clock.
And it's probably Cooper DeJean, right? That's probably the selection here. It just makes a little bit too much sense. Something that's been mocked and mocked and mocked and mocked and mocked and mocked. The sleeper pick here is Graham Barton. Did you already see it? Oh my God.
When you're playing in the SEC. Fluid and smooth. I asked him about this particular interception.
So yeah, Drew's already seen it, but again, the two I'm saying is DeJean and DeJean and Barton.
Well, you got the right position.
Which one?
Oh, I'm not going to tell you because then you're going to do what you did to me on the chop pick, where I said I was all over this guy.
Kool-Aid? They just skip over DeJean and go straight to Kool-Aid, or they just go right to Zach Frazier or JPJ.
Did you see my face when I was like,
yeah,
like to me, it's a shock. Let me put it to you this way. I'm not going to tell you which position, but I don't think this player cracked the first round in any of our mock drafts.
Turned around and took it to the house.
Watch the spin.
Here it comes.
There's a turn.
There it goes. Big reveal. Take it to the house, Terry on Arnold. Why don't you? What a way to
All right, so Drew's already seen the pick once again for the people in the chat, and he had his jaw dropped because he said that we did not have this person inside our first round mock, any of our first round mocks.
Any of them.
Packers are not wasting time. They've got 5 picks in the first 91 of this draft.
5 from the first 91.
With the 25th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers and hosts for the 2025 NFL Draft. Select Jordan Morgan.
Oh, wow.
Jordan.
Jordan Morgan was supposed to be a sleeper for Baltimore. Dallas.
I love this pick because it means the Niners aren't going to take him.
Wow. You know, you don't have your tackle, right? He was injured and he's been injured because he can't fucking ever play. And then you cut him, right? This guy's a plug and play.
It makes a ton of sense for Green Bay.
Super sound. With
Makes
a
a ton
team
of
that's
sense.
really young and doesn't need like the flash, right? They don't need the flash guy. They don't need a wide receiver, right? They already have a ton of young wide receivers.
And
that are
Jordan
talented.
Love is mobile.
Yep.
They got a hell of a running back.
Yep.
They got 16 starters.
Yep. Yeah. So it makes a ton of sense.
And if you guys are watching along NFL Network, you'll notice one of the stats that just popped up for Jordan Morgan. Well, there's Tampa Bay. Started 28 of 31 games in college. So that speaks to the Bakhtiari problem they were having.
Yep. Tampa's in. They need corner help. Is this DeJean finally? Where we just go, whoa, what the fuck? Like we've never mocked DeJean, I don't think, ever past Green Bay.
I don't honestly think that. Wow.
Did you see it?
Just more stuff coming out of Kirk Cousins' camp about just being completely taken back for this.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
Hit the bathroom real quick.
Hurry up. Who did you think it was going to be? The Bucks?
This could be Darius Robinson
I do believe that.
or Grant Barton or JPJ.
I do believe we mocked this player to the Bucks once or twice. So, or at least he was all over mock drafts being mocked to this team. So, Jordan Morgan, bro. Wow. I have some pretty strong opinions on certain players who I don't want the 49ers to draft, and Jordan Morgan was one of them. And I just felt like I wanted to see one of the stud offensive linemen fall to the 49ers instead of taking someone that I thought we could get in the second round. Obviously, getting Jordan Morgan in the second round wasn't going to happen because he just went to the Green Bay Packers. But now as we're getting closer and closer to the 49ers I'm starting to get more nervous because we got some really talented corner players still on the board. And, you know, as a 49ers fan, you might think to yourself, well, we got Mooney Ward, we got Diamador Lenore. But the fact of the matter is Lenore's up for contract, and, you know, Mooney Ward is already making money, so it's hard to pay two corners. And realistically, to draft a corner and, you know, not have a situation where your third corner on the field, the game plan against him is to just throw it deep, which it has been against our third corner. Really, really excited about some opportunity at corner. Or as we get closer and closer to the 49ers pick, A.D. Mitchell is still sitting there. You know, Xavier Worthy is still sitting there, obviously. Keon Coleman is still there. There's a lot of opportunity here. This Buccaneers pick has been in for what feels like 7 or 8 minutes now.
I feel like the slowest draft that we've ever had.
Yeah, I mean, we're 3 hours and 15 minutes into it.
Yeah, it's definitely been a drag. Oh man. Well, Arizona's just BPA, right?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, there's just.
Here's a contract to
I feel like Arizona can go. Trezon Newton. I feel like Arizona can go corner. I feel like Arizona can go Jackson Powers Johnson. I feel like Arizona can go Robinson.
Yeah. Or just say, screw it, we need another wide receiver and go AD.
I mean, the thing about what Dallas has done here is I think Buffalo's going wide receiver, so I think AD is gone there. But if Dallas drops to 28 and gets Jackson Powers Johnson and also picking up a third rounder, now you fill the need even though you don't like it. And that third rounder, if it ends up being a running back,
it's definitely better.
So,
you know, then we can address other issues. We can address our linebacker issue, our running back issue, and maybe still grab a tackle. You know, who knows?
But the whole ass league is going to sit here and let Kansas City draft Xavier Worthy.
Or Ladin Conkey. Or Tyler Guyton.
Tyler Guyton's still there, man.
That's what we had at 32.
Well, and I think when you and me first started talking mock drafts, I wanted Tyler Guyton to the 49ers.
Yep.
So there's just so much corner depth, so much corner talent here.
Oh, yeah.
I would just – and I've had the 49ers taking safety in the second or third round multiple times on mock drafts that I've done. So Cooper DeJean being available for the 49ers there would be big time.
Listen, as you know, if you've got a quarterback that's not 6'5", you got to keep people out of the space, right? If you're going to roll, Baker,
yeah, they need a lot of corner help. Their center retired too. That's obviously in play.
In this draft, Arizona will pick again. The Bills will show up, and that's when the Cowboys will choose.
With the 26th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Graham Barton.
Oh, shit.
Center Duke.
So that's, I think, what Ian was referring to right there.
So if this is okay, so you tell me. So Dallas is going to have one of a couple of players available at this moment. AD Mitchell's probably gone, right? So you have
You think AD's going to Buffalo?
yeah, most likely, right? So we have a couple of things. We have Derzon Newton. We have JPJ. And we have Cooper DeJean. So Derzon or DeJean is going to Arizona most likely. I like the pick though. I mean, you're talking about a guy who has 5 positional flexibility. This is a great pick for Tampa Bay that needs the flexibility across the line. You know?
I got a new guy that started at my store yesterday, and he asked me what the shift hours were. I was like, "Oh, your shift comes in at 1 tomorrow." He's like, "I ain't coming in at no 1 p.m." I'm like, he's like, "I'll be in there much earlier than that." I'm like, "Oh, okay, good." Like,
So you remember how the draft began last year with the Arizona Cardinals moving out of a 3 spot. So Arizona.
All right, Cardinals are coming up right now.
Can come up to take Will Anderson. Well, this is the first round pick they got.
With the 27th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Darius Robinson.
Oh shit.
Defensive tackle, Missouri.
You know what? Good for Darius for not sitting in the green room for day 2. They got him out of the green room. Good for him, man.
did we miss them taking Graham Martin? Did we even talk about that?
I did.
Oh, what was I doing? Typing?
Yes.
So teams were split on how you use him. Some feel like you play him outside on the edge on those base downs, those early downs, then let him rush inside. But they really
I like Darius a lot. Darius Robinson was edge 5 for me, I believe. You know, so he's coming off the board exactly when he should be coming off of the board. He was going great in the beginning of round 2 to one of those first couple of picks in the second round. So yeah, he's edge. Yeah, he was edge 5 for me. So after Latu versus Turner Robinson, we have the next Robinson at Darius. So this is where he should go. Good for him, man. Again, he was only 13 players accepted invites to the draft this year. A lot of them stayed at home, right? Over half of them did for the first round. And Darius was the one who accepted it, and a lot of people thought maybe he'd be sitting for day 2. So good for him.
He might have also known.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think if you're a fringe first, second round pick guy, you show up at the green room without being told.
You got an invite.
You know,
guys are invited. Not anyone who just pull up. Buffalo's on the clock. Probably AD Mitchell at this point.
Oh gosh. He's got range to be able to really chase guys and chase them all over the field, not only as a pass rusher, but also against the run. There's that push pull. You'll see it. You'll see it over and over and over again. He'll push a guy out. He'll pull him and swim him. That's against Guyton, the tackle. We'll see his name called here pretty soon from Oklahoma. There he is, kicked inside and showed it.
Yeah, he's a monster.
So a fun, versatile chess piece here along the defensive front for the Cardinals, Rich.
running out of gas a little bit.
Tired.
We've been live for 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
And we've eaten chicken wings. We got shocked by Michael Penix. I feel like it's hot as hell in here. Even though it's
you don't know the genesis of it. Again, the fact that Darius Robinson is hugging.
Did you see Buffalo's?
Buffalo ain't picking.
To be a member of the Arizona Cardinals is because last year Monty Austinfort moved out of the 3 to move back down, and then he wound up moving back.
Buffalo ain't picking.
To get
God damn it. Buffalo ain't picking.
Oh no. Okay, there's only one. Oh, that's what I said. Oh no!
on the stage.
I like how it's like a WWE style, like.
Darius, you are from Detroit. What does it mean to share this night with your
Oh man, Kansas City gets AD Mitchell. Stop it. Why the fuck would Buffalo let?
Arizona started off the first round with a bang and Marvin Harrison. Now they're capping it off with you. What excites you most about what you two can help do in the desert?
Unless they're going up for Cooper DeJean, because they need to recoup the L'Jarius Sneed trade.
Get on out to Arizona. Thank you, Darius.
Thank you so much.
Great job tonight, Kaylee. Thanks for
Hey, where them people at on the TikTok? Where are the people at on that TikTok? How did you take Xavier Worthy before AD Mitchell? Where are you at? Come see me. Come see me. You took Xavier Worthy before AD Mitchell. That's what they said. How are you going to take Xavier Worthy before AD Mitchell? Because, bro, he's fast as hell. And now he's about to be fast as hell for the Kansas City Chiefs. All them idiots. I've been right about everything. Everything they've come after me for. J.J. McCarthy ain't a first-round pick. The Bears ain't taking Caleb Williams. Jaden Daniels ain't the number 2 pick. Suck it. Yeah, no, shut up. AD Mitchell! I like AD Mitchell. But when you run as fast as Xavier Worthy does, it's game-changing speed, bro. You can switch the – it's Tyreek Hill speed, man.
Yeah.
Assuming that's who they pick. It's all just a swap.
Is that really all it is?
Yeah. The Chiefs traded 32 for 28. They gave up 95 but got 133. And they gave up 221 but got 248.
Okay, so a bunch of big swaps.
So the Bills basically moved up 38 spots and 27 spots and dropped back 4th. Mike McCartney, Kirk Cousins' agent. Yes, this was a big surprise. We had no idea this was coming. We got no heads up. Kirk got a call when the Falcons were on the clock and never had a conversation. A 4.2140. 4.2140.
Mm-hmm.
Before AD Mitchell.
Follow your passion with Courtyard by Marriott.
How much would you love Cooper DeJean? They're at 31.
I want my food to look the best it possibly can. I want my customers to look at that meat and say, wow, well, real meat is something that you can taste the difference in. Raised without antibiotics, all that stuff. It's good. It's quality food.
Catch all your favorite offseason content on NFL Plus.
All right, so who's on the clock?
Exclusive offseason
Cowboys.
coverage from the NFL Draft, free agency, and more.
There's
So-
so
so-
much talent on the board, and
So we got-
I'm afraid that.
We got Kool-Aid.
Mm-hmm.
We got Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
We got AD Mitchell.
Yep.
We got
Jerzon Newton.
Jerzon Newton. We got Jackson Powers Johnson
Tyler Guyton.
and Tyler Gaines.
And Edgerrin Cooper.
And Baltimore's not going to go corner.
Why not?
It would hurt me inside a little bit if Cooper DeJean went 1 pick in front of the 49ers.
That would suck.
Not as much as it would hurt if he was available and we didn't take him.
Yeah, I wonder how that is.
But you're about to find out.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
I'll tell you what, if you guys take Cooper DeJean here and you go back to that 3 safety look, although you have a different defensive coordinator now, and you pick up a 3rd-round pick, was it a 3rd or a 4th?
Third. It was a mid-third.
Yeah.
I think Buffalo is a receiver.
The AD Mitchell, the Xavier Worthy.
Back a little bit. So
It's because my glasses are so thick, Holmes.
Full speed, and a guy who looks like Deshaun Jackson. I think Andy Reid would be familiar with how to use the ball. Yeah.
Because last year they kind of had to go small ball, then bump it back up. Any thought of an offensive lineman here, left tackle?
Yeah, I thought that there was talk they might try and trade up for a tackle, but I just wonder if the options left there are interesting to them. Whereas the receiver line, there's some interesting names still out there.
Okay, so he's coming out with some reinforcements as well for the pick of the two-time defending Super Bowl champs.
They're out there celebrating Patrick Mahomes' dad, or what?
It's time to support the life-changing wishes that Make-A-Wish grants. One important wish was requested by a young man by the name of Justin Laverne, who was diagnosed with renal failure at age 15 and received a kidney transplant from his father just last year.
Yeah, congratulations. What did you expect the dad to do? I'm just saying, give him a round of fucking applause. He decided to save his son. Like, duh.
He's very upset about the Xavier Worthy 80 Mitchell thing. Put it down.
It's just a bunch of dick sucking about how he ran the fastest 40 in combine history. Now he's like, Chief!
The Buffalo Bills have traded 28 picks to the Kansas City Chiefs. With the 28th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the back-to-back Super Bowl champions Kansas City Chiefs select Xavier Worthy.
All right. No. You can't look at it anymore. We're on the clock.
It won't. It doesn't pop up until
No.
it says the pick is
It
in.
doesn't matter.
4-2-1. Tank Dell my ass.
You just took Tank Dell on the first. That's crazy.
I know.
He can't make contested catches, man.
4-2-1, all-time great in terms of that number, and watch how fast he is on the field with fast players at Alabama. This is the game.
Now, I will say the difference between him, fast guy, and other fast guys is his routes are actually really clean. That's the difference here. Is he's not just fast guy like Jalen Hyatt last year, where he's straight line speed. He's
and
different.
all the pop pass bullshit. Like, they're gonna get the ball in this man's hands.
He's gonna get a lot of design
A lot of
touches.
the fucking handoffs behind the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
BYU, Steve Sarkisian, they are very close. He will know everything about this kid that he's bringing into his building.
I just think about the creativity as well in the play calling. And Kurt, for me, if I'm a quarterback and I've got that speed and Andy Reid calling plays, Patrick.
You think you guys drop back again?
With that speed
No.
and creativity that they're going to have offensively.
Pick his in. Pick his in.
All right, who's it gonna be?
It's probably JPJ, but I really don't want it to be. I really don't want it to be.
Who else would you hate?
Guyton. He's too developmental for a team that wants to win now.
I think it's funny that you hate Guyton, but I wanted Guyton. So if you had to pick between the two, who would you hate more?
Guyton.
What a night, what a moment this was, Daniel. We're sitting in the booth saying he's running it for a second time, and we thought he wasn't going to do that because he ran such a fast time to begin with. And with the fans in the building, you can hear the cheering. That was amazing.
1995. That's okay. You can laugh in a few minutes. With lost 2 of the last 4 Super Bowls with the lead in the fourth quarter and overtime.
That's going to stand for a while. I don't see that getting broken anytime soon.
Is the pick in or is it counting down?
Pick is in. Baltimore's on the clock. I feel like done so much edge rusher to Baltimore. I don't know what else they would need.
You think they take Drizon Newton?
They allowed Detroit to come on up, take Terry on
Ooh.
Arnold, and they traded all the way down to this spot.
Just pair him up with Matabuke right next to him.
Those guys are now off the draft board.
Or do they just say, hey, let's go ahead and take AD Mitchell? We need more weapons for Lamar.
That they got from Detroit for that. So they've got
They lost a guard, didn't they?
2 picks
Shit, bro. What about that fucking wide receiver that dropped the Zane? He dropped the touchdown before it got there.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, dang.
Wait,
He dropped your draft card.
This isn't even real, bro.
He fumbled the ball. He fumbled the bag. I'm 100% confident that he's about to be pissed.
In the 2024 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Tyler Guyton.
Oh my God! Austin, Texas. Oh my gosh, Tyler Guyton, and he said he would hate Tyler Guyton the most.
Yeah.
Now, just so all you Cowboys fans out there know, he also hated Micah Parsons.
Guyton is like, I don't know, tackle of 7 on my board.
So what do you do with him? He plays tackle, and you move Tyler Smith to guard.
He can't play tackle. He can't start, dude. He's tackle 8. He genuinely can't start. Cool, like you're showing these things, but you just showed him just get absolutely fucking bullied by Darius Robinson. Like, he's strong, sure. But look at him. Look how he's built. He needs more strength on his lower body before he actually, like, I hope we can develop him into something good, obviously. You know, I hope this is a Tyler Smith situation where I hate to pick because of the talent on the board. It's just
They want to keep him at guard. So that means if they're drafting Guyton, ultimately they accomplish what they did. That's just Tyler.
We're drafting a guy in the first round who shouldn't be a day 1 starter.
Oh my gosh!
What?
The Ravens went corner.
Oh shit! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Wow!
So I mocked Kool-Aid McKinstry of the 49ers hella times.
Mhm.
Not only is Kool-Aid going to be available, Cooper DeJean is available because, and all the tackles are gone unless there's no way we're taking Zattenberger, Strassenberger, whatever the fuck that, Rosengardner. Definitely not taking his ass. So essentially we can have Kool-Aid McKinstry, we can have Cooper DeJean, or we can have A.D. Mitchell. Please, for the love of God, do not take Newton. We're going to take Newton. I'm almost certain we're going to take Newton.
Yeah, just real quick. So just to talk about Guyton real quick. Turn to developmental shit. The only other guy I had in front of him at the moment is Blake Fisher. And the thing is Tyler Guyton's a right tackle, man. I just don't get it.
I'm just so glad you're unhappy.
I just don't get it.
You do all this work. You get so excited. You've been talking about draft day for weeks.
Yep.
We hung out. We ate wings. We joked. Mozzie Smith. And then you guys took Tyler Guyton.
Yeah.
That just is phenomenal to me.
Oh, man.
You guys would have been better off taking Jackson Power Johnson. You would have been better off did Tyler Guyton come in on a top 30?
Yeah.
You would have been better off taking Zach Frazier. You'd have been better off taking Christian Haynes. At least all those players are starters.
They are. It has to be, at the end of the day, the Cowboys staff believes in the guy who's going to start for us at center more than whoever's going to start for us at attack. You know, there's Chuma. I like Chuma. So,
I'm surprised your dad hasn't left a comment.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, one of the most no-brainer free agent signings that I can remember is recent memory, where it's like it was born to play there, is Derrick Henry going to be in the backfield standing next to
Oh, I fucking forgot about Derrick Henry.
Not a fullback in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson under center.
Can we bring Mark Ingram back just so we can get another one of those photos? Right. Bring him back to the Ravens.
No, you can't have it. We like him too much.
You like this here?
3 picks to go.
Nate?
Yeah.
No. With the talent that's on the board, I get it because of how talented he is, but he's gonna be like the lightest corner ever drafted in the first round.
Baltimore Ravens select Nate Wiggins, defensive back, Clemson.
It's beautiful.
The 173 pounds was a little startling. He got to his pro day, he was back up over 180, so that was encouraging. A very dynamic athlete. The testing numbers were excellent. He's very loose and fluid and smooth in all of his movements as he keeps his eyes on the quarterback. Watch the speed to close here. He can close down that space, that catch up,
That's a
that
great
makeup
play.
speed. He's got it big time. The effort to chase plays down. He did it twice. You'll see them both right here. Forced the fumble at the 1 yard line. Here he is against North Carolina. Another one. Phenomenal effort to chase that play down. Now, the issues are some of the tackling. Tackling wasn't great. He was a little content to hang on blocks at times. But you go to the Baltimore Ravens, they will coach you out of that very quickly.
You know, and we draft offensive linemen pretty well, so hopefully it's just that's all I'm hoping.
2 picks to go.
You guys better not fuck this up.
Already 5 minutes
I feel like in the depths of my soul, it's Jerzon Newton.
Might be.
Traded out at 28 overall with the Chiefs. We'll wrap up the first out in Detroit.
There's no way that Cooper DeJean falls out of the first round, right?
Deserves a perfect sidekick. All the one with your favorite.
I just think on our defense, you know, we have Hufanga coming back. We have Jair Brown, who played well last year. And then you have Mooney Ward and you have Diamador Lenore. And then you have Ambry Thomas, who gets picked on. But, you know, bringing in Cooper DeJean allows you to play 3 safety, which we've done with Travarius Moore before. So I think it'd be a good fit. A.D. Mitchell, obviously, but we brought Juwan Jennings back, you know.
Yeah.
I really don't see an instant need except for potential depth at corner and maybe a tackle that's going to be there. That's what I think it's going to be, Newton.
Yeah. No, you should probably stay off of that.
No, I want to see it.
No, you should stay off of it.
Oh, I just want to know before everybody knows so I don't have to have a stupid look on my face.
Man, I really I didn't want Guyton there. I didn't because I had Fisher in front of him, and I felt like you can get Fisher a lot later.
Like, what if they do something stupid like Troy Franklin?
You guys?
Yeah. Or what if we take Ladd with A.D. Mitchell there, you know? What do we do? What if we do, who else would be a little funky? I mean, I guess we could take Jackson Powers Johnson.
I guess.
I mean, our interior offensive line cost us the Super Bowl. Oh, the phone went off. Man, you guys really passed on A.D. Mitchell and Cooper DeJean for Tyler Guyton.
Yep, we did.
And now we don't have to worry about it because Tyler Guyton and Jordan Morgan are gone. I wouldn't love Jackson Powers Johnson or Zach Frazier because it's not sexy.
I guess the good thing is he didn't give up a sack all year. 9 hurries, 3 hits. 5 penalties all year. He only got 1 start at left tackle, though. Everything else is at right tackle.
I wouldn't be surprised if we trade back here either. Your dad said that if we take AD, it opens up the Brandon Ayuk trade. But the 49ers were pretty dead set on getting a first rounder for Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah.
Tyler
All right,
Guyton
trade.
last year played right tackle all year, except for one game. He played left tackle. Gave up 2 sacks all year last year, too. The year before. Last year, no sacks. The year before.
All right. Call it.
Um,
Wouldn't they want to trade him for a first round pick, or if they could trade him tomorrow night?
you're going with.
Well, just because the first round picks are gone tonight and they're going to be in about
Fuck.
they can get first round pick value. Like you look at some of the teams early, the Patriots,
I guess JPJ. No, doesn't feel right. Trezon Newton or Kool-Aid feels the best to me.
Jed's on the phone with him. Kyle's excited. John Lynch is excited.
Commanders, who's second overall pick tonight, former college teammate of Brandon Ayuk. We'll see what comes out of the San Francisco draft room anyway, right here. So what do you think?
Well, with San Francisco, I was looking at 2 things with them. It was defensive tackle and it was wide receiver. And for a lot of the reasons that we're discussing here, the uncertainty at that position. But also defensive tackle. Eric Armstead's no longer there, so to be able to get somebody to help out with that, Johnny
Law's still there.
But I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at all the wide receivers: Adonai Mitchell, McConkey, Pearsall, Keon Coleman, Leggett, Corley. Like, if they want a receiver, there's still a lot of good options there for them.
Okay, so the commissioner is making his way to the stage for the penultimate time tonight. The Bills are already on the clock for 2.5 minutes here. Again, the Chiefs traded up moments ago to take Xavier.
He looks like he's hurting.
The latest wide receiver taken.
Oh, yeah.
That back surgery.
And the Bills will choose last. But before that, we hear the 49ers pick.
With the 31st pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Ricky Pearsall.
Oh, shit.
Florida.
So they do take a receiver.
Oh,
Pearsall.
fuck.
Is coming off a great year, and somebody who also went to the Senior Bowl and showed up down there. Charles and I saw him down there. Michael Gallup was my comparison. Throughout college, one of the things when you watch him, he's so crisp. When he gets to the top of his route, they appreciate it. It's the best catch anybody had all year long. You won't see a better catch than that one.
Just for the chat, we didn't have Ricky Pearsall going until the end of the second round. Like pick 31 or pick 30 of round 2. Ricky's a slot corner and really talented. If you don't know who Ricky Pearsall is, just all I want you to do right now, go to YouTube after the stream, obviously. Go to YouTube and look up Ricky Pearsall catch. That's it. Look up Ricky Pearsall catch. You're going to see the most ridiculous shit you've ever seen in your entire life. It's with
Hey, Panthers are on the clock.
what? Oh shit! And Carolina's on the clock. Carolina's on the clock currently. I would think that this is A.D. Mitchell still sitting here, really talented receiver. Cooper DeJean is still sitting here, who should be a first-round pick. A.D. Mitchell should be a first-round pick too. Kool-Aid McKinstry should be a first-round pick too. There's a lot of super talented guys here. But if Buffalo's trading back, it tells me that this is not A.D. Mitchell. I think Buffalo's going AD at the top of round 2. So it looks like they get a 5th and a 6th round swap. Okay, 1 pick. So I think this could very easily be, if you're going receiver, it might be Ladd McConkey. Big possibility. Xavier Leggett has a lot of channels open to him. I don't think this is A.D. Mitchell, the Kool-Aid McKinstry, or Cooper DeJean, especially Cooper DeJean, where you lose Jeremy Chin. Jeremy Chin being a really talented safety, corner, linebacker role. Now you want to go ahead and you want to bring in a guy who could play a really similar role. He's a better tackling Jeremy Chin, better coverage Jeremy Chin. So
if you're gonna play Madden next year, you're gonna like Cooper DeJean to go ahead and go grab him because he'll be playing everywhere. Pick is in. Now they're talking about Zach Frazier potentially. So there's the center. I don't really see offensive tackle here. Way too late for offensive tackle. Bottom of the Kingsley Suamatia is really the only option I could see here potentially. Zach Frazier and JPJ is sitting here. Kool-Aid, my number 1 corner, is still sitting here. DeJean, my number 3 corner, still sitting here. Top safety is still on the board. Drazon Newton is still on the board, who's one of my top, interior defensive linemen. A lot of talent sitting here for Carolina. Interesting to move up.
But you know what's really strange about last year? One of the great oddities of last year. He and CJ Stroud went.
Let's see what this is.
Houston came to Carolina. Houston had the year, went to the playoffs. Carolina abysmal. Carolina won the game. Bryce Young outplayed CJ Stroud on that particular Sunday. The one anomaly of the year and how it went for CJ Stroud.
I mean, before we make this selection, before this selection is made, I would just implore the Panther fans, just be patient with Bryce Young. Because if you put some people around him, you go back to see the player that played at Alabama. This guy can play the position. You just got to give him help. Well,
Pick is in. They only took 3 minutes to select him. They knew exactly who they're going out for.
I'm driving up to the mountains in Boone, North Carolina, and I'm trying to find some solitude because this dude needs a lot of help. He's going to need some therapy if they don't get him some help. It's this pick right here.
Josie Jewell, Jordan Fuller, some guys they added this offseason too.
That's right in your territory over there. That's my spot.
Along with Hayden Hurst. Sorry, they lost Hayden Hurst. They lost. They added Jadeveon Clowney though.
It was a tremendous run.
It was a tremendous run, but
You used to look at me and wince, didn't you?
I did because you called the first game in the history of the Big Ten Network, and it was that. Both of you guys, you hold nothing over me anymore. Just so you understand it. And I don't hear about 200,000 of my friends right behind me.
Well, thankfully, I'll just get while he's on this with the Michigan here.
On this, yes.
Rich and I were watching the Rose Bowl together.
Yes.
We were actually sitting kind of near each other at the Rose Bowl.
Were there tears? How'd he do? Tears? How'd he do? How about Rich?
All right, pick is in.
Good one.
Touche. Good one, touche.
All right, so here's the last pick of the first round, and it belongs to the team that once upon a time had the first pick.
Picks in, Drew.
The Bears kind of took it. Here's the Panthers wrapping up the night.
The Buffalo Bills have traded the 32nd pick to the Carolina Panthers. With the 32nd pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Xavier
Legette. Oh wow! Yeah, I said Xavier Legette's on the board here as an in. Think about this: no Cooper DeJean, no A.D. Mitchell, no Kool-Aid McKinstry. A lot of talented guys out here. Oh my goodness!
Record-setting or record-tying, that's a record-tying 7th wide receiver taken in this first round. That saw
7 wide receivers.
14 offensive players all consecutively to start, and a record-breaking 6 quarterbacks in the first 12 picks.
Wow. Well,
This kid out of South Carolina said he was told.
I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Make sure to stay tuned to the YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel because we will be handing out day 1 grades, day 2 grades, overall draft grades will be handing out. So keep on the lookout for that because it's going to be super exciting to kind of go over this. Also keep a lookout for complete offseason grades. So that's going to be free agency, and that's also going to be the draft itself. So going back and looking at how all this has transpired, we're really going to wrap up the football season with a couple of handing out grades here and there over the next 2 or 3 weeks. So that's really going to wrap up the football season for us, and then we're going to go ahead and get kicked off, continuing on with the basketball and baseball season. So if you like any of that, make sure you hit subscribe, please. It does help us out. Make sure to go check out our other content, wide receiver rankings, quarterback rankings for all the stuff in the draft, guys who got drafted. If you want to know any of the guys who maybe didn't get drafted, like safeties haven't been drafted yet, go check out our safety video. Interior offensive linemen, there's a lot of interior offensive linemen still on the board. Go check out our video for that. A lot of the wide receivers are off the board at this point from who's in our videos. But running backs, linebackers, tight ends, we have all that stuff up on the YouTube channel. We have a whole 2-hour, almost 3-hour video of every single position. Plus, I broke it all down on the YouTube channel. Again, go check it on the YouTube channel. Hit subscribe. It really helps us out, you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed the almost 4-hour stream, record-breaking stream for us. We usually do about 2 hours every single about Wednesday. We usually record. Content comes out Wednesday night, Wednesday or Thursday night. So you guys can, again, hit subscribe. Really helps us out. Follow us on TikTok too. Same name, 2020 Podcast. Bunch of short form content out on there. Drop the likes in the chat. Really appreciate it. First round wrapped up. Unfortunately, Drew couldn't join us for the end of it. But if you stuck around to the end, I do appreciate it very much. I hope everybody has a beautiful night, and we will see you next week. I might even go live tomorrow. If you want me to go live tomorrow, drop something in the comment section. I'll go live tomorrow. But besides that, you guys have a beautiful night. Peace.
Just a little. 275,000 plus in Detroit. Like, that's crazy to me. The story.